Chapter 3761, High Transaction Fees. Lin Moyu received the blank identity token, and Chin Chin explained, in the trading market, you don't necessarily need to use your real name. Names here are just identifiers, and the formation only recognizes soul aura. All transactions in the trading market must be conducted through the identity token. She was essentially telling Lin Moyu that this was standard practice for everyone. After confirming that the identity token was safe, Lin Moyu infused it with a wisp of his soul power and chose a name for himself, Immortal Dao. The token transformed immediately, displaying a unique symbol resembling a divine rune. On the back, it showed the name he had chosen. A number appeared in the lower right corner of the name, currently 0, indicating his balance of soul pearls. Soul pearls didn't necessarily exist physically, they could also be stored digitally within the trading market and accessed directly via the identity token. If needed, they could also be withdrawn in physical form. This reminded Lin Moyu of banks from his previous life. Money stored digitally could be used directly or withdrawn as cash when required. In the lower left corner of the identity token was an image of a leaf, signifying that Lin Moyu was currently authorized to operate in Market 1 of the trading market. The staff member behind the counter said, "The rules of the trading market are embedded in your identity token, you can review them yourself. Do you have anything to exchange right now?" Lin Moyu thought for a moment before casually taking out several Great Dao materials along with the spirit domain compass he had received from Shi Haifeng. The staff member paused briefly upon seeing the compass. A spirit domain compass. Even Chin Chin looked surprised, seemingly puzzled as to why Lin Moyu would exchange something as useful as a spirit domain compass. In the World Tree Great Spirit Domain, having a spirit domain compass was highly convenient. Though curious, Chin Chin didn't voice her thoughts. She knew better than to ask questions at inappropriate times. Lin Moyu asked, "Can this be exchanged?" "It can," replied the staff member confidently, though his expression betrayed some confusion. Activating a formation, he projected light onto both the compass and materials. After a few moments, he said, "The spirit domain compass plus these materials can be exchanged for 52 soul pearls." Unsure if this price was fair, Lin Moyu turned to Chin Chin for clarification. Chin Chin explained, "The exchange rates in the trading market are always fair, negotiation isn't allowed." Before she could finish speaking, Lin Moyu said, "Then let's proceed with the exchange." The staff member nodded as both the compass and materials vanished. Lin Moyu's identity token now displayed a balance of 52 soul pearls. The staff member asked again, "Do you have anything else to exchange?" Lin Moyu considered briefly before taking out a soul crystal. "Can this be exchanged?" After examining it with a formation, the staff member replied, "This item can be exchanged for 10 soul pearls. Would you like to proceed?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "No, thank you." He retrieved the soul crystal and left the counter. Once outside and away from others, Chin Chin finally spoke up. "Senior, why did you exchange your spirit domain compass?" Lin Moyu chuckled lightly. "You think I could have sold it for more?" Chin Chin nodded emphatically. "Of course. A spirit domain compass could easily sell for 70 or 80 soul pearls, and higher quality ones might fetch over 100. But exchanging it here only yields half its value. I truly don't understand why Senior would do this." Lin Moyu replied calmly, "I have my reasons. I felt that compass wasn't auspicious." Not auspicious? Was that even a valid reason? Chin Chin found herself both amused and exasperated, but what was done was done. There was no point dwelling on it now. At this point, Lin Moyu began reviewing the trading market's rules by connecting his soul power to his identity token. After reading through them quickly, Lin Moyu murmured softly, "So that's how they make money." Chin Chin didn't catch his words clearly. "What did you say, Senior?" Lin Moyu replied, "I'm talking about how profits are generated in this trading market." Chin Chin nodded knowingly. The human sovereign and World Tree Emperor provide such an excellent venue, they're bound to profit from it. Indeed, they profited, but perhaps more than expected. In this trading market, every transaction exceeding 10 soul pearls incurred a 10% fee, similar to taxes in mundane societies. Moreover, the fee applied to both parties involved in each transaction. For example, if Lin Moyu wanted to purchase an item worth 10 soul pearls, he would need to pay an additional pearl as a fee totaling 11 soul pearls. Meanwhile, the seller would also need to pay 1 pearl as a fee, receiving only 9 pearls in return. This dual fee system ensured that every transaction generated 20% revenue for the market. Even barter transactions were subject to automatic price estimation by formations with fees deducted accordingly. These rules were absolute and inviolable under the authority of both rulers who established them. Lin Moyu asked, "Has anyone ever tried conducting transactions outside this market?" Chin Chin replied, "Yes, it used to happen, but safety couldn't be guaranteed and many incidents occurred, so people stopped doing it. At least within this market you're safe and there's no deception, no one dares sell counterfeit items. While it's slightly more expensive, the benefits far outweigh the costs. Additionally, all items here are recorded by formations. Private transactions are forbidden and violators face severe penalties. Minor offenses result in forfeited soul pearls, major ones lead to execution, a consequence no one can afford." Although the human sovereign had benefited countless cultivators, he ensured substantial profits for himself through strict rules and harsh enforcement measures, keeping even unruly great Dao cultivators and lords obedient. Lin Moyu said, "Take out your identity token, I'll give you some soul pearls." Chin Chin smiled brightly as she handed over her token, which displayed her trading name, Fairy Chin. Naturally, it wasn't her real name. Only she could see her pearl balance, not Lin Moyu or anyone else. Using his own token, Lin Moyu transferred 2 soul pearls to hers. Chin Chin protested lightly, "Immortal Dao Senior, you've given me too much." Lin Moyu replied casually, "Accompany me around this level's trading market and help me claim a soul tower." Grateful yet pragmatic, Chin Chin readily agreed with a cheerful smile. "Of course, I'll guide you." She led Lin Moyu to claim a soul tower before exploring Market 1 together. This level housed countless small rooms functioning as individual stalls, all free for sellers regardless of duration. These rooms were constructed primarily with formations supplemented by minimal materials, and there seemed to be an endless supply available. Lin Moyu noted that there were at least hundreds of thousands of such rooms, with many still vacant. If he wished to set up shop, it would be possible anytime without restrictions. Exploring markets involved 2 methods: visiting stalls individually or searching directly via identity tokens for specific items listed by sellers within formations. Market 1 offered little of interest to Lin Moyu. Most items failed to meet his standards. Eventually he withdrew 10 soul pearls from his balance and began studying them closely. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3762, 3762. Chapter 3762, The Terrifying Human Sovereign. Chin Chin completed her task successfully, earning 2 soul pearls. Compared to those who relied on soul towers to earn pearls, Chin Chin's method was far more efficient. It had only taken her a single day to earn 2 pearls. Everyone has their own way of making a living, and Lin Moyu saw nothing wrong with what Chin Chin was doing. Finding a secluded spot, Lin Moyu examined the soul pearls in his hand. They were small, slightly larger than a thumb. The soul pearls were gray-black in color, representing both real and illusory forces. Inside, they contained both real and illusory powers, not particularly strong but exceptionally refined. For great Dao cultivators, refining soul pearls could indeed enhance their cultivation levels. With enough quantity, the effects could be significant. Lin Moyu decided to test one to see its actual effects. Since fighting was prohibited in the trading market, he didn't need to worry about danger. His soul transformed into flames that enveloped the pearl, which quickly melted into a black-gray stream and merged with his soul. Suddenly, Lin Moyu's brows furrowed sharply as world-burning fire erupted from his body. Simultaneously, his soul was engulfed by undying flame. Under the dual flames, the soul pearl instantly turned to ash, and the black-gray stream was also incinerated. Fortunately, no one was around, otherwise, Lin Moyu's sudden outburst would have drawn considerable attention. Although the soul pearl was destroyed, a faint light remained unscathed by the flames. Lin Moyu immediately opened his storage space and sealed the faint light inside. Afterward, he surveyed his surroundings cautiously and let out a sigh of relief upon confirming that the formations in the void were still functioning normally without any anomalies. As expected, things aren't that simple. My earlier caution was justified. The human sovereign and world tree emperor must be plotting something. Just as he began refining the soul pearl, an intense warning surged from deep within his soul. There was something wrong with the soul pearl. It contained a trace of willpower. This willpower was hidden extremely well, undetectable not just by great Dao cultivators but even by Dao lords. Lin Moyu had only discovered it due to his extraordinarily sharp intuition. He knew that his perception had always been keen even when his cultivation was weak. It surpassed that of many powerful predecessors. As his cultivation grew stronger, So too did his perception, now far exceeding ordinary limits. It was this heightened awareness that allowed him to detect the hidden willpower within the soul pearl. The willpower was incredibly potent, even world-burning fire couldn't destroy it. If it were to embed itself deep within one's soul, removing it would be nearly impossible, and what might happen afterward was anyone's guess. Narrowing his eyes warily, Lin Moyu thought, this willpower likely originates from either the human sovereign or the World Tree Emperor. Regardless of who it is, they're undoubtedly connected. Countless soul pearls have already merged into the souls of countless cultivators. What exactly are they planning? The trading market had existed for countless years, welcoming endless streams of visitors. Almost every great Tao cultivator in the World Tree Great Spirit domain had been here and refined soul pearls. Many had since become Tao lords. It could be said that nearly every great Tao cultivator and Tao lord in this domain carried traces of willpower from either the human sovereign or World Tree Emperor deep within their souls. Lin Moyu didn't know what their ultimate goal was, but this discovery confirmed his suspicions. They definitely had an agenda. It's best not to get involved. This isn't my business. I can't even resolve my own issues yet. Meddling in others' affairs would be unwise. Lin Moyu reminded himself not to interfere unnecessarily. Besides, the human sovereign and World Tree Emperor operated on a level far beyond his reach. There was nothing he could do about them anyway. For now, his priority was finding what he needed in the trading market. As for refining more soul pearls, that idea was firmly off the table. His soul wasn't open to external intrusions. The immediate challenge now lay in reaching Market 2 by completing transactions worth 100 pearls. Market 1 offered little of interest. Its goods were mostly low-tier items suitable for 9th or 8th tier souls, not worth Lin Moyu's attention. Transaction volume. After some thought, Lin Moyu concluded that bartering wasn't ideal for him. He still had plenty of treasures and soul crystals, valuable items that could fetch good prices here. Based on what he observed earlier, a single ordinary soul crystal seemed equivalent in value to about 30 pearls, and higher quality ones were worth even more. Selling these directly at exchange rates like 10 pearls per crystal wasn't acceptable, and he had no interest in using soul towers after discovering their hidden risks earlier. If not for potential gains from finding rare items here, he'd have left already. In Market 9, a grand illusory palace, a shadowy figure slowly opened its eyes. Its gaze carried a hint of confusion. One trace of my will has disappeared. Strange, did someone leave the World Tree Great Spirit domain with a soul pearl? Or perhaps, a primordial beast consumed it? The figure scanned through heaven and earth, observing everything within the trading market, but found nothing unusual before closing its eyes again. In Market 7, the Wood Slaughter Realm Master sipped tea while conversing with other Tao lords when he suddenly glanced outward with mild surprise. Someone asked, "Wood Slaughter Tao friend, is something wrong?" He chuckled lightly. "A young friend has arrived at the trading market. I'll let him enjoy himself for now. I'll find him later." Meanwhile, Lin Moyu suddenly felt an oppressive aura sweep over him, a chilling sensation piercing deep into his soul. Looking around, he noticed no one else seemed affected. It appeared only he detected this anomaly. This is the human sovereign's aura. Lin Moyu trusted his instincts. The aura distinctly belonged to someone from reality, not from soul void like the World Tree Emperor's aura would feel. The human sovereign must have realized that one of his traces embedded in a soul pearl has vanished. But fortunately, it seems he hasn't suspected me yet. Still, it's terrifying how much he can perceive. He can sense every great Tao cultivator and Tao lord here, even observe their actions directly, and if he takes things further, controls them. A deeper chill ran through Lin Moyu as he realized just how vast and terrifying the human sovereign's schemes must be. Compared to such machinations, his own plans seemed trivial by comparison, a child playing games against a master strategist spanning countless years. Taking a deep breath, Lin Moyu steadied himself. When I reach that level, I'll see for myself what exactly he's plotting. For now, he dared not act rashly. If the human sovereign wanted him dead, it would be all too easy, and survival wouldn't even be an option. Suppressing his curiosity, Lin Moyu resumed exploring Market 1, spending an entire day browsing through thousands of stalls. Finally stopping at one selling great Tao materials. The items weren't high tier but possessed rare attributes missing from Lin Moyu's world. These materials could summon elemental liches while filling gaps within his world's Taos. For Lin Moyu, it wasn't just about strength but also completeness. The more complete his world became, the greater its future potential. Selecting over 10 pieces, he asked, "Tao friend, how much for these materials?" The stall owner, a 9th tier great Tao cultivator, bowed respectfully. "Greetings, senior. Each piece costs 10 soul pearls." Lin Moyu followed up, Do you accept bartering? ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3763, 3763. Chapter 3763, Transactions. In the trading market, there were essentially two methods of transaction, purchasing with soul pearls or bartering with items. Regardless of the method used, the trading market would deduct a 10% fee based on the transaction amount. The stall owner wasn't surprised when Lin Moyu expressed his intention to barter. Of course, Senior. What do you wish to exchange? Lin Moyu took out a void soul pill. I'll use this pill for the exchange. This void soul pill was refined using 10 soul crystals. Its effects for virtual beasts were far superior to 10 soul crystals combined, but for cultivators it was slightly weaker than 10 soul crystals. Lin Moyu deliberately chose not to use soul crystals directly for the exchange. In his view, soul crystals were too precious and far more effective than soul pearls. If they appeared in large quantities, cultivators would undoubtedly compete fiercely to obtain them. Such a scenario might impact the value of soul pearls and draw the attention of the human sovereign, something Lin Moyu wanted to avoid. Void soul pills, on the other hand, were limited in quantity and easier for people to accept due to their slightly better effects. Lin Moyu also wanted to test how the void soul pill would be appraised by the trading market's formations. The stall owner didn't recognize the void soul pill but could sense its extraordinary nature. Perhaps due to Lin Moyu's cultivation level, he didn't reject it outright but said, "Senior, I'd like to appraise its value first." Lin Moyu replied, "Go ahead." He handed over the void soul pill without hesitation. In this market, forced transactions were impossible due to the governing formations, so theft wasn't a concern. The stall owner activated his identity token and connected it to the trading market's formation. A beam of light from his token enveloped the void soul pill. The pill appeared plain and unremarkable, showing no special traits at first glance. After a few moments, the token displayed a number, 180. This indicated that the void soul pill was valued at 180 soul pearls. The appraisal matched Lin Moyu's own estimate closely. 10 soul crystals would likely be worth around 200 soul pearls if sold directly. Refining them into a void soul pill didn't significantly alter their value. An appraisal of 180 was accurate. Lin Moyu was intrigued by how precisely the formation determined value. It exceeded his expectations. With an appraisal in hand, the stall owner seemed more confident. Senior has selected 15 materials totaling 150 soul pearls in value. This pill is worth 180 soul pearls. Would you like to select a few more items? Seeing him agree readily, Lin Moyu chuckled lightly. Sure. He casually picked 3 additional materials, bringing the total to 18 items. The two completed their transaction successfully. Afterward, Lin Moyu noticed that his identity token now displayed a balance of 22 soul pearls. 8 pearls had been deducted as transaction fees. Additionally, his token now showed 2 leaves instead of 1, signifying that he had unlocked access to Market 2 by exceeding 100 soul pearls in transaction volume. To access Market 3, he would need a cumulative transaction volume of 300 soul pearls. Transaction volume was cumulative. Lin Moyu had already reached 180 and needed only 120 more to advance further, a relatively simple task. The initial requirements for advancing through markets were low. According to Chin Chin's explanation, spending some time here would allow most cultivators to access markets 1 through 5 without difficulty. The real challenge began at Market 6. Ascending into the air, Lin Moyu flew toward Market 2. Passing through multiple formations and completing identity verification smoothly, he entered Market 2 without issue. Market 2's structure and environment were similar to Market 1 but lacked an exchange center for soul pearls or soul towers. Those transactions still required returning to Market 1. After wandering around Market 2 briefly, Lin Moyu gained a general understanding of its offerings. In Market 1, prices rarely exceeded 20 soul pearls. Many items cost single-digit amounts and weren't subject to transaction fees due to their low value. Market 1 primarily catered to newcomers, cultivators with weak realms and combat abilities just starting out, and thus its items were generally mediocre. Market 2 offered significantly better goods. Single-digit priced items were absent entirely. The cheapest items started at 10 soul pearls while pricier ones ranged up to 50 pearls. The quality and variety of goods were noticeably improved compared to Market 1. After surveying several stalls, Lin Moyu selected materials worth 150 soul pearls from one vendor and again used a void soul pill for payment. In the trading market's formation system, the Void Soul Pill retained its appraised value of 180 soul pearls regardless of how much Lin Moyu actually paid for goods. The fee was always calculated based on its appraised value. This demonstrated the market's rigid rules. A product's recognized value dictated fees regardless of negotiated prices between buyers and sellers. Lin Moyu didn't mind this detail. He quickly completed his transaction and pushed his cumulative volume past 300, earning access to Market 3. After deducting fees from his transactions, his remaining balance dropped from 22 soul pearls down to just 4, insufficient for covering fees on future trades. Looks like I'll need to sell something, Lin Moyu thought. In this market, fees were mandatory. Without paying them, transactions couldn't proceed. Thus every participant needed to maintain a reserve of soul pearls. As transaction volumes increased and item values grew higher, the fees rose proportionally as well. By higher levels, Dao Lords often carried tens of thousands of soul pearls, a fact Chin Chin had mentioned with envy during their earlier conversations. Market 3 featured even pricier goods, the majority exceeding 50 soul pearls, with some treasures reaching values as high as 300 pearls. Finding an empty stall within Market 3, Lin Moyu activated its formation system and linked it with his identity token. The system prompted him to register items for sale along with their prices. What name should I use? Lin Moyu pondered. Ascension Pill, not grand enough. Elevation Pill, still not quite right. Naturally it couldn't be called Void Soul Pill directly. After deliberating briefly, Lin Moyu settled on a more imposing name, Great Dao Refining Pill. Registering it under this name with a price of 180 soul pearls, he detailed its effects clearly before placing it up for sale within the system. Now all that remained was waiting, but Lin Moyu wasn't concerned. It wouldn't take long before buyers arrived. For Great Dao cultivators, the most important priority was improving their cultivation, and any pills capable of achieving this were highly sought after. Otherwise soul pearls wouldn't be so popular either. Lin Moyu had priced his most basic Void Soul Pills competitively. Their effects equated roughly to those of 250 or 60 soul pearls, but he listed them at just 280, a bargain sure to attract many buyers quickly. When registering pill details, the system required submitting one pill for verification by its formation to ensure authenticity. Sitting quietly within his stall, Lin Moyu meditated while contemplating the market's formation system. To achieve such functionality, the system must have spirit formations embedded within it, he thought. I wonder if spirit formations are available for purchase here. If I could acquire some spirit formations, I could produce large numbers of 5 elements giants. Given their combat prowess, increasing their numbers would greatly enhance Lin Moyu's chances against world wills. As expected, not long after listing his Great Dao Refining Pills, buyers began arriving. ko-fi.com/translate-toki, only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type A. Chapter 3764, 3764. Chapter 3764, The Wood Realm Master. It wasn't just one person who came, it was a crowd. Judging by their cultivation levels, they were at least third-tier soul Great Dao cultivators, clearly from the upper markets. Immortal Dao friend, I want to buy the Great Dao Refining Pill. Dao friend, how many do you have? I'd like to buy more. Can you give me a discount? Immortal Dao friend, is the pill formula for sale? I'm willing to pay a high price. Lin Moyu hadn't expected so many people to show up. Voices clamored all at once, bombarding his ears with requests. Frowning slightly, Lin Moyu raised his voice. Everyone, can you speak one at a time? But his words were drowned out by the noise. Fortunately, the stall was protected by formations. Although the crowd gathered at the entrance, they couldn't barge in. Suddenly, an overwhelming aura descended, silencing everyone as their souls felt an oppressive weight. In the void above, a massive tree appeared, and atop it stood a man in a purple Taoist robe who slowly descended. As he landed, the pressure intensified. The previously noisy crowd found themselves unable to utter a word. Even Dao Lords felt immense pressure, their souls twisted under its weight. Lin Moyu immediately realized that this newcomer was exceptionally powerful, stronger than the Hell Master and far beyond his current ability to contend with. At my current strength, dealing with the Hell Master is already my limit. Against someone stronger like this man, I'm no match. This must be a Realm Master, someone who controls at least 3 Great Daos and whose world will has already taken form. In the World Tree Great Spirit domain, thanks to the combined efforts of the Human Sovereign and World Tree Emperor, humanity had flourished, producing many Realm Masters over time. However, only a few realm masters had managed to nurture their world wills to the formation stage. Most realm masters' worlds were still in their formative stages. They typically controlled 2 great Daos at most, similar to the level of the Hell Master. Under immense pressure, Lin Moyu stood tall and met the man's gaze without flinching. The newcomer exuded an endless killing intent that descended like invisible giant hands pressing down on everyone present. A great Dao filled with murderous intent materialized. Its oppressive aura made everyone feel as though calamity was imminent. The slaughter great Dao, it's Wood Slaughter Realm Master. Why is Wood Slaughter Realm Master here? Could he possibly want the great Dao refining pill too? That's impossible. The pill would be useless for someone of his level. Recognizing him, some in the crowd were visibly shocked. Hearing, Wood Slaughter Realm Master, Lin Moyu sighed softly, so he found me after all. Wood Slaughter Realm Master was Shi Haifeng's master, a fact Shi Haifeng had mentioned before. Lin Moyu had deliberately exchanged his spirit domain compass to avoid being tracked by him, but it seemed his efforts were in vain. In hindsight, Lin Moyu realized he had underestimated the capabilities of Realm Masters. Realm Masters in the World Tree Great Spirit Domain were fundamentally different from someone like the Hell Master, a Realm Master who had risen through unconventional means. They followed perfected cultivation methods passed down by the human sovereign. They knew how to control worlds and subdue world wills, turning even malevolent wills into tools under their command. As both they and their world wills grew stronger together, their power far surpassed that of outsiders like the Hell Master. Wood Slaughter Realm Master spoke in a low voice. Disperse for now, I have something to discuss with Immortal Dao friend. A Dao Lord hesitated. Realm Master, we just want to buy some great Dao refining pills. Wood Slaughter Realm Master replied coldly. You can do so after I've finished speaking with him. For now, leave. His voice carried killing intent as sharp as blades pressing against everyone's throats. The trading market's rules prohibited fighting or killing, but no one dared defy Wood Slaughter Realm Master. After all, their physical bodies still existed in reality, and there was no guarantee that Wood Slaughter Realm Master wouldn't seek them out there instead. Reluctantly but obediently, the crowd dispersed under his command. Wood Slaughter Realm Master called out loudly, Immortal Dao friend, please come up for a chat. Realizing there was no avoiding this encounter, Lin Moyu responded and flew up to meet him atop the tree. On top of the tree, a tea table was set up with tea brewing automatically. Wood Slaughter Realm Master gestured politely, Lin Dao friend, please sit. It didn't surprise Lin Moyu that he knew his real surname. He complied and sat down as instructed. A cup of fragrant tea floated over to Lin Moyu. Without hesitation or suspicion, he drank it in one gulp before calmly remarking, good tea. Wood Slaughter Realm Master chuckled. You're not afraid? Lin Moyu shook his head. Since you've already found me, what's there to fear? Wood Slaughter Realm Master said. You're indeed cautious, but I'm curious, why did you act so carefully? Lin Moyu replied. You should know I'm from another great spirit domain, and we have a saying, do no harm but always guard against others. Wood Slaughter Realm Master smiled faintly. A wise saying. It seems your world isn't very peaceful. From just a few words, Wood Slaughter Realm Master inferred much about Lin Moyu's circumstances. Realm Masters were never fools, and Lin Moyu hadn't intended to hide anything anyway. Indeed, the competition in my world is fierce. Wood Slaughter Realm Master continued. If I'm not mistaken, your world already has a world will, and it has taken form. Lin Moyu smiled bitterly. How did you figure that out? Wood Slaughter Realm Master explained. Because your true spirit is no longer within you. So that's how he deduced it. Lin Moyu sighed. Yes, my true spirit is no longer with me. Wood Slaughter Realm Master said. With your true spirit under your world will's control, you've essentially lost your autonomy. What are your thoughts on visiting our World Tree Great Spirit Domain? Lin Moyu replied honestly. This domain has developed well. The human sovereign's contributions are unparalleled. Wood Slaughter Realm Master asked directly. Have you ever considered reclaiming your true spirit and regaining your freedom? Lin Moyu didn't mince words. I have, but it's incredibly difficult. In my world's history, only one person has succeeded across 3 eras, and they paid an enormous price. My visit here was partly to seek guidance from that predecessor, but while they survived, their Dao heart is shattered and their future ruined. Wood Slaughter Realm Master pondered briefly before proposing. In that case, I'd like to make you an offer. Please speak, Lin Moyu said. If you manage to reclaim your true spirit and face your world will someday, I'll provide assistance when needed, Wood Slaughter Realm Master began. In exchange, I want the formula for your great Dao refining pill. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the at symbol and type A. Chapter 3765, 3765. Chapter 3765, Still Poor. The formula for the Great Tao Refining Pill. Lin Moyu didn't actually have a formula, it all relied on the soul refining furnace. Back in the Golden Furnace Great Spirit domain, the soul refining furnace had sparked a massive conflict. Hundreds of small spirit domain kings fought over it, turning the entire domain upside down. While small spirit domain kings were only about as strong as Tao lords and couldn't compare to someone like Wood Slaughter Realm Master, their sheer numbers made them formidable. Moreover, small spirit domain kings could command countless virtual beasts, making that battle truly earth-shattering. It wasn't until the Golden Furnace Emperor intervened that peace was restored. However, the Golden Furnace Emperor didn't take the soul refining furnace, and Lin Moyu never understood why. Normally, something like void soul pills would be useless to someone of Wood Slaughter Realm Master's level. His soul power had already reached its peak. Further improvement would require comprehending great Taos or finding a way for his world will to step into eternity. Sensing Lin Moyu's confusion, Wood Slaughter Realm Master explained, "The Great Tao Refining Pill may be useless to me, but I'm not alone. I have descendants and subordinates who need it." Lin Moyu replied, "But isn't that what soul pearls are for?" Wood Slaughter Realm Master responded, "Soul pearls are indeed good, but they're not easy to obtain, and not everyone has the talent for battle." As he spoke, he gave Lin Moyu a meaningful look and glanced subtly toward the distant sky. Lin Moyu's heart tightened. He understood now that there was something wrong with soul pearls. He said cautiously, "Senior, please allow me some time to consider this matter." Wood Slaughter Realm Master nodded. "Very well. For now, I'd like to purchase some Great Tao Refining Pills." "How many do you have?" Lin Moyu replied, "Not many, only a few hundred. As you saw earlier, other Tao friends are waiting as well." His implication was clear. Wood Slaughter Realm Master couldn't take them all without causing resentment among others. Even if Wood Slaughter Realm Master didn't care, Lin Moyu didn't want to offend so many people. Wood Slaughter Realm Master nodded in understanding. "Then give me 100 pills for now." "All right," Lin Moyu agreed readily. The transaction was completed swiftly. After deducting fees, Lin Moyu earned 16,200 soul pearls. Meanwhile, his identity token displayed an increasing number of leaves. A transaction volume of 1,000 soul pearls granted access to Market 4. At 3,000 pearls Market 5 became accessible. At 10,000 pearls Market 6 opened up. To enter Market 7 a transaction volume of 30,000 soul pearls was required. For Lin Moyu, reaching 30,000 soul pearls wasn't difficult, it could be done quickly. Wood Slaughter Realm Master concluded, "A pleasant transaction. If you decide on my earlier proposal you can find me in South Leaf Small Spirit Domain." Lin Moyu nodded politely. "I'll give it careful thought." This was the human sovereign's territory with his avatar present and formations enveloping the area. There were things Wood Slaughter Realm Master couldn't discuss openly here. After he left, Lin Moyu returned to his stall and promptly put up a sign, "Limit 3 pills per person." The void soul pills he had prepared weren't many, most had been intended for Little Python. For now they would have to suffice. Soon the previous crowd returned. Upon seeing Lin Moyu's sign limiting purchases they looked visibly displeased. "Only 3 pills? That's too few." "Exactly. At least sell us 10 each. 3 is barely enough, it's not fair." Lin Moyu raised his voice. "Tao friends, I didn't prepare many pills this time, so I must limit purchases. Once I find suitable materials I'll refine more and sell them here again." Someone asked loudly, "When will that be?" Lin Moyu replied vaguely, "I can't say for sure, but I'll do it as soon as possible." In truth he had no idea when or if he would return. If he found what he needed this time he might not come back at all. For now this explanation would have to do. "Fine, 3 pills are better than nothing," someone shouted before buying 3 pills from Lin Moyu. This set off a chain reaction. Others followed suit, each purchasing 3 pills until Lin Moyu's stock was completely sold out within half a day. By then his soul pearl count exceeded 70,000 and his identity token displayed 7 leaves granting him access to Market 7. Closing his stall, Lin Moyu headed straight for Market 7. As he approached, the powerful pressure emanating from within became palpable even before entering. Among the 9 trading markets, Market 7 was considered high tier. Most participants here were first-tier soul Great Tao cultivators or Tao lords, and realm masters were a common sight. For someone like Lin Moyu, a second-tier soul Great Tao cultivator, his presence here was rare. Enduring the pressure, Lin Moyu ascended into Market 7. Had his strength been any weaker, he wouldn't have been able to enter at all. With a transaction volume exceeding 70,000 soul pearls, reaching Market 8 required 100,000, a goal easily achievable by spending some of his current pearls on materials. The real challenge lay in accessing Market 9, the pinnacle of trading markets where items carried astronomical values and requirements were equally steep. A transaction volume of 1 million soul pearls was needed to enter Market 9, a tenfold increase over Market 8's a requirement. This barrier excluded nearly everyone except realm masters and a handful of exceptionally powerful Dao lords capable of controlling worlds with potential to become realm masters themselves. Stepping into Market 7, Lin Moyu browsed through various stalls. Here the sellers were primarily first-tier souls or Dao lords, and their goods were rare and exorbitantly priced. After some observation, Lin Moyu noted that even the cheapest material cost 5,000 soul pearls, a top-tier Great Dao material just shy of being Dao Lord level quality, suitable for crafting top-tier Great Dao treasures, even usable by ordinary Dao Lords themselves. Common top-tier materials cost 5,000 pearls, but rarer ones go for tens of thousands. And anything better costs several tens of thousands more. 70,000 soul pearls seemed like a lot, but they don't last long here. It looks like I'll need more ways to earn pearls. Lin Moyu had high demand for top-tier Great Dao materials, not just those absent from his world but also duplicates of existing ones for enhancing its development further. Since 70,000 wasn't enough, it was time to earn more, and Void Soul Pills remained his best option. Previously sold Void Soul Pills were only single refinement versions made from ordinary soul crystals, the kind he casually fed Little Python as snacks. Double or triple refined Void Soul Pills offered better effects and naturally fetched higher prices, but crafting them here wasn't an option. It would expose him as possessing the soul refining furnace, a treasure best kept secret. After exploring Market 7 thoroughly, Lin Moyu decided on his next step: purchase several materials to push his transaction volume past 100,000 and then proceed to Market 8. ko-fi.com/translate-toki, only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3766, 3766. Chapter 3766, The Purpose of the Trading Market. Lin Moyu continued executing his plan, selecting materials that suited his needs. Meanwhile, in another small spirit domain, a concealed formation opened up an independent space. Wood Slaughter Realm Master appeared within the space, where 8 others were already present, making a total of 9. These individuals were all extremely powerful, none weaker than Wood Slaughter Realm Master himself. However, none of them were present in their true forms, not even avatars, merely projections. One of them spoke softly, "Number 9, why have you summoned us here?" Wood Slaughter Realm Master replied, "Naturally, there's a reason. A human cultivator from another spirit domain has arrived in the World Tree Great Spirit Domain." Number 3 interjected, "What's so unusual about that? Such people show up almost daily." Wood Slaughter Realm Master's gaze turned cold as he snapped, "Number 3, keep your mouth shut." Number 3 huffed but said nothing further. Number 6 asked, "What's special about him?" Wood Slaughter Realm Master explained, "His cultivation level is second-tier soul, but his combat strength far exceeds that of Dao Lords, and by a significant margin." The group was visibly surprised. This was highly unusual. If his strength was only slightly above average, it might be acceptable, but being far stronger raised serious questions. Number 6 pressed for details. "Explain further." Wood Slaughter Realm Master didn't hold back. He defeated 5 Dao Lords from the Outsider Alliance. The 8 others' expressions changed drastically. A second-tier soul Great Dao cultivator defeating 5 Dao Lords. It sounded like a fantasy. Wood Slaughter Realm Master continued, "And it's true he possesses such combat strength. Moreover, he's extremely cautious. He managed to isolate my spirit domain compass from tracking him. That alone is beyond what ordinary Dao Lords can achieve. I've met him personally. When facing me, he remained calm and composed. This suggests he's accustomed to dealing with individuals of my level. Honestly, I suspect that even if I tried to kill him, it wouldn't be easy." None of them doubted Wood Slaughter Realm Master's words. Number 3 asked, "Even if he's exceptionally talented, what does this have to do with us?" Wood Slaughter Realm Master explained, "He's currently selling a pill in the trading market called the Great Dao Refining Pill. I've tested it. It's more effective than soul pearls. If we can obtain its formula." The group's expressions shifted immediately. Such a pill could be incredibly valuable for their purposes. Number 3 remained skeptical. Do you really think he'll hand over the formula easily? Even if we get it, the required materials might be hard to acquire. Wood Slaughter Realm Master glared at number 3 but restrained himself and replied, I've spoken with him, he's willing to trade the formula if I help him with something. Additionally, the pill is easy to refine. But here's the most important part, you don't know why I'm so interested in this formula. Number 6 asked quickly, why? Wood Slaughter Realm Master revealed, because if multiple pills are refined and consumed simultaneously, the pure soul power within them can erase imprints. This revelation left the other 8 stunned, their expressions varied dramatically. Finally breaking his silence, number 8 cautioned, don't act recklessly if this alerts him or others. Though trusting Wood Slaughter Realm Master's claim, number 8 worried about unintended consequences. Wood Slaughter Realm Master seemed excited. We've been searching for a way to break free from him and now there's hope. Leave the rest to me, just pretend you never heard this. This meeting was simply to share good news, nothing more. Lin Moyu purchased 3 top-tier materials from 3 rare great Daos, all missing from his 1,000 worlds. While these materials might eventually evolve naturally through yin-yang origin power, it would take far too long and Lin Moyu couldn't wait. With these materials and the help of elemental liches, Lin Moyu could directly evolve great Daos, saving an immeasurable amount of time. His transaction volume surpassed 100,000 soul pearls, granting him access to Market 8. Market 8 exerted even greater pressure than Market 7. Most participants here were Dao Lords, even first-tier soul great Dao cultivators were rare, and Lin Moyu stood out as a second-tier soul cultivator. Looking up toward Market 9, the pinnacle of trading markets, Lin Moyu felt drawn to its offerings but knew he wasn't qualified yet. His current transaction volume had just reached 100,000, a far cry from the required 1 million. Still, Market 8 wasn't lacking, it featured many materials at the Dao Lord level. The cheapest Dao Lord level materials cost 30,000 soul pearls and treasures started at 100,000 pearls. Market 8 sells Dao Lord level items. Market 9 must offer Realm Master level treasures. What could they possibly have? Lin Moyu faintly sensed an overwhelming pressure emanating from Market 9. It belonged to the human sovereign. Pulling his gaze away for now, that place was beyond his reach. After browsing Market 8 thoroughly, Lin Moyu admired its offerings but couldn't afford everything he wanted. One item particularly caught his attention, a treasure called the Great Dao Golden Shield. This shield accumulated energy over time and could envelop its user during activation, blocking all attacks. If enough energy was stored, it could even withstand strikes from Realm Masters. Additionally, the shield could harness Realm Master level attacks to tear open soul void space, allowing instant escape across vast distances. Having experienced Wood Slaughter Realm Master's power firsthand, Lin Moyu felt compelled to acquire such a treasure as an extra layer of protection. Even against the world will of the origin continent, it would provide valuable survival options. Unfortunately, the Great Dao Golden Shield was priced at 150,000 soul pearls, a sum Lin Moyu couldn't afford yet. Reluctantly leaving Market 8 behind, Lin Moyu flew out of Spring Encounter Small Spirit Domain entirely. Taking out his newly purchased Spirit Domain compass, he followed its guidance toward the edge of World Tree Great Spirit Domain. To safely refine Void Soul Pills, he needed to leave this domain entirely and avoid attracting unwanted attention. Refining higher grade pills like double or triple refined Void Soul Pills required vast quantities of soul crystals, a resource Lin Moyu would need to gather extensively. Summoning Little Python as his mount, Lin Moyu reflected on his gains from the trading market. While it hadn't offered much novelty, it confirmed his suspicion that the market served dual purposes, benefiting cultivators while acting as a tool for the human sovereign's wealth accumulation. At Lin Moyu's level, wealth was easily attainable, but the market's real purpose lay in distributing soul pearls widely among great Dao cultivators. Through these pearls, the human sovereign could exert control over countless cultivators and by extension the entire domain itself. Leveraging this collective power, the human sovereign could pursue even greater ambitions. ko-fi.com/translate-toki, only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3767, 3767. Chapter 3767, The Mysterious Rift. At the edge of the World Tree Great Spirit Domain, where virtual beasts were more abundant, Lin Moyu began hunting. Although he had already grasped the essence of virtual beasts, that they were part of a cyclical reincarnation between the real and illusory worlds, possibly transformed from deceased beings in the real world, he felt no guilt in killing them. Lin Moyu knew that as long as their true spirits remained intact, Virtual beasts could regenerate even if he refined them into soul crystals. His undead army roamed freely through the void, leaving countless virtual beasts crippled and then refined into soul crystals by world-burning fire. Holding his spirit domain compass, Lin Moyu navigated carefully. The spirit domain compass proved highly useful, allowing him to pinpoint his location and track the real-time positions of various small spirit domains within the World Tree Great Spirit Domain. The human sovereign and World Tree Emperor's creation of such a tool had indeed provided great convenience to cultivators. As Lin Moyu collected soul crystals, he muttered to himself, "It seems world-burning fire has reached its limit. To advance further, I'll need to refine worlds. Refining virtual beasts alone isn't enough." From its name alone, world-burning fire was clearly intended for world destruction. Refining soul crystals was merely a secondary function, but for now, Lin Moyu lacked suitable worlds to refine. The worlds within the World Tree Great Spirit Domain were off-limits. Attempting to refine them under the watchful eye of the human sovereign would be suicidal. He thought back to the Golden Furnace Great Spirit Domain, where suitable worlds might exist. He had considered refining them before but abandoned the plan after encountering the four-armed race's world will. Perhaps after returning there, he could revisit this idea. Lin Moyu also considered targeting worlds within the Outsider Alliance's Great Spirit Domain. Given their opposition to humanity, their worlds were deeply entangled in karmic ties with humans, making it easier for Lin Moyu to act without bearing undue consequences. Such karma wouldn't fall solely on him but would be shared across humanity. First, I'll refine enough virtual beasts to produce triple refined void soul pills, then see what treasures Market 9 has to offer. I have a feeling Market 9 holds something I need. It's best to accumulate as many soul pearls as possible. Running out when something valuable appears would be embarrassing. As he pondered this, Little Python suddenly spoke. "Master, how long do we plan to stay here?" Lin Moyu asked. "Why? Are you feeling uneasy seeing your kind being killed?" Little Python quickly shook its head. "Please don't misunderstand me, Master. I wasn't thinking that at all." Its nervous demeanor amused Lin Moyu. "I was just teasing you." "Why did you ask?" Little Python explained. "This place makes me uncomfortable, and there seems to be something wrong with these virtual beasts." Lin Moyu raised an eyebrow. "What's wrong with them?" Little Python replied. "They seem lifeless." Lin Moyu nodded thoughtfully. "I've noticed that too, but it's not worth investigating further." Little Python understood Lin Moyu's meaning. This was the human sovereign's territory. Any abnormalities here were irrelevant to them. As long as virtual beasts could be refined into soul crystals, nothing else mattered. Together, Lin Moyu and Little Python traversed the edge of the World Tree Great Spirit Domain, hunting and refining as they went. Months passed as they circled roughly 1/5 of the domain. Countless virtual beasts fell at Lin Moyu's hands. However, all these virtual beasts were below third-tier souls. Not a single second-tier or first-tier soul beast appeared. Nor did they encounter any small spirit domain kings, just as Shi Haifeng had mentioned earlier. Without interference from small spirit domain kings, their hunt proceeded smoothly. Lin Moyu suspected that second-tier soul virtual beasts had likely been gathered by small spirit domain kings and first-tier ones had probably gone into beast abysses. After months of hunting, Lin Moyu's stockpile of soul crystals exceeded 100,000, enough for producing triple refined void soul pills. That should be sufficient. With enough soul crystals in hand, the next step was entering a vacuum zone to begin refining void soul pills. Suddenly Lin Moyu frowned as an entire undead army vanished without warning in the distance. Destroyed. Surprised, he realized this army consisted of 10,000 dragon riders, all wiped out silently and instantly. Concerned but cautious, Lin Moyu didn't approach immediately. Instead, he directed nearby skeletal generals toward the area. The site where his undead army disappeared lay near the limit of his control over undead forces. While maneuvering skeletal generals closer, Lin Moyu instructed Little Python to fly toward the location cautiously. Through one skeletal general's undead eye, Lin Moyu observed nothing unusual in that patch of void. It appeared perfectly normal. But as another skeletal general approached, it abruptly disintegrated into dust, its soul extinguished entirely. Witnessing this through yet another skeletal general's perspective, Lin Moyu realized his dragon riders must have met a similar fate earlier. The skeletal generals couldn't discern anything clearly from their limited vision. To uncover more details, Lin Moyu would need to investigate personally. Little Python noticed Lin Moyu's tense expression. "Master, is something wrong?" Lin Moyu replied, "Indeed, something has happened. I need to check it out. Follow me closely." Summoning another skeletal general as a guide ahead, Lin Moyu flew cautiously, not too fast, to ensure little Python didn't accidentally overshoot and risk being destroyed like his undead forces earlier. Unknown dangers are always the most terrifying. Recognizing this unease, little Python obediently followed behind for half a day until they reached their destination. Surveying the void carefully, Lin Moyu searched for clues while little Python scanned its surroundings. "Master, I don't see anything unusual." Neither did Lin Moyu. The void seemed calm and empty, but appearances can be deceiving. Sending another skeletal general forward, it soon encountered an invisible force that crushed it into dust, its soul obliterated beyond resurrection. Startled by this sudden destruction, little Python exclaimed nervously, "What just happened?" Even Lin Moyu felt uneasy watching his skeletal general disintegrate. It seemed as though an invisible force was creeping toward him, a force capable of consuming him entirely. Yet the void before him remained eerily empty. That was what made it truly unsettling. Summoning True Fire Dao Spirit beside him, Lin Moyu asked, "Can you see anything ahead?" With her cultivation level comparable to True Body Dao Lords, the True Fire Dao Spirit could perceive things beyond Lin Moyu's own abilities. Examining the area carefully, the True Fire Dao Spirit pointed forward and said, "There's a massive rift." "A massive rift?" Lin Moyu asked. "How big is it?" Using her small hands, the True Fire Dao Spirit gestured expansively, "Very big." Summoning 5 Elements Giant next, Lin Moyu asked her to compare sizes. "Which is bigger, the rift or him?" After some comparison, the True Fire Dao Spirit concluded, "The rift is still bigger." Considering that 5 Elements Giant was comparable in size to worlds at their formation stage, the fact that this rift exceeded its scale was astonishing. With a thought, Lin Moyu summoned Sword Dao Spirit and transformed her into a Dao Sword. Xiao Shang Sword 3, ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3768, 3768. Chapter 3768, The Human Sovereign in the Beast Abyss. The 5 Elements Giant swung its sword toward the direction Lin Moyu indicated. The sword light illuminated the void before colliding with an unseen force, twisting and warping the sword's energy until it exploded violently. Boom! The void distorted as terrifying power surged outward. Little Python let out a pained scream as its body shattered, while Lin Moyu's soul suffered severe injuries in an instant. He quickly positioned the 5 Elements Giant in front of himself as a shield. The 5 Elements Giant emitted brilliant light to resist the spatial distortions, but the void's turbulence was too overwhelming. Even the giant's formation couldn't hold against it. The Sword Dao Spirit expanded, transforming into a shield to further reduce the pressure on the 5 Elements Giant. Meanwhile, the True Fire Dao Spirit released intense heat and manifested the True Fire Great Dao as another shield, protecting Lin Moyu and Little Python from harm. Lin Moyu took a deep breath and threw out a soul flower to envelop Little Python. In that fleeting moment, had he acted even slightly later, Little Python would have died. Now, Little Python was in a half-dead state and required the soul flower's healing power to recover. Lin Moyu hadn't expected the 5 Elements Giant's strike to trigger such an enormous reaction. As life force flowed through him to heal his soul, Lin Moyu refrained from using soul flowers on himself. He wanted to understand what had caused such terrifying phenomena. Within the sword light, a massive rift emerged, stretching deep into the void. This rift was enormous, its width comparable to an entire small spirit domain. In other words, the rift was large enough to swallow a small spirit domain whole. Beyond the rift lay an infinite expanse of space seamlessly blending into the void, making it impossible to see what lay within. The rift existed silently in the void. Anything that touched it would vanish without a trace. This rift. How did it form? Why is it like this? The rift resembled a scar on soul void, a chilling anomaly. Lin Moyu couldn't comprehend it. The rift exceeded his understanding entirely. Soul Void's space was incredibly stable. Even True Body Dao Lords couldn't tear it apart without rapid restoration. He couldn't imagine what circumstances could leave behind such a permanent rift. Judging by its appearance, the rift had existed for countless years, its origin unknown. Because of his earlier sword strike, the collision had temporarily revealed the rift, but soon it would disappear again, hidden within darkness, and destroy anything that approached it. Realizing he couldn't afford another reckless collision, Lin Moyu retreated cautiously before releasing a cluster of world-burning fire to illuminate the rift. Under its light, the rift became clearer. As world-burning fire spread along both sides of the rift, Lin Moyu followed its flames deeper into the void. The rift extended endlessly as though reaching infinity. It seems we're leaving the World Tree Great Spirit domain. After following for some time, Lin Moyu noticed that the rift was heading toward a vacuum zone. With its healing complete, Little Python regained consciousness and exclaimed nervously, "Wow, I almost died." Lin Moyu reassured it, "Don't worry, it's not that easy to die." Little Python chuckled, "Of course, with Master here, it's hard even to die." Even now, it didn't miss an opportunity for flattery. Once Little Python recovered, Lin Moyu let it carry him again. "Follow the flames along the rift, but don't go too fast." Little Python nodded obediently before noticing the size of the rift and cried out in shock, "What is this? How can it be so big?" Lin Moyu replied calmly, "I don't know either, just be careful." Being cautious by nature, Little Python slowed its pace considerably and maintained distance from the rift. As world-burning fire burned along its edges, the rift reflected power outward, distorting space across tens of thousands of miles around it. Fortunately, the fire didn't trigger as violent a reaction as Lin Moyu's earlier sword strike. The rift remained relatively stable. Eventually, the rift left behind the World Tree Great Spirit domain and entered a vacuum zone. Suddenly, Lin Moyu's expression changed and he extinguished world-burning fire. "Stop," he commanded sharply, and Little Python halted immediately. Lin Moyu saw that the rift connected directly to Beast Abyss, and within Beast Abyss a massive aura spread forth, a terrifying presence. He dared not approach further, instead observing from afar while remaining over 10 billion kilometers away from Beast Abyss. Even at such distance, the overwhelming aura emanating from Beast Abyss was palpable, a testament to its immense power. Crucially, the aura felt familiar. It matched what Lin Moyu had sensed before it. Mark 9, the aura of a human sovereign avatar. Inside Beast Abyss lay none other than the human sovereign himself. But why was he there? And why did this mysterious rift lead directly into Beast Abyss? Everything pointed toward a connection between this anomaly and the human sovereign. Has his power reached such heights? Can he create something like this? What is he doing in Beast Abyss? Questions filled Lin Moyu's mind, but he knew better than to interfere. The wisest course would be turning back immediately. Yet curiosity gnawed at him relentlessly. Go take a look. Go take a look. He knew that whatever brought the human sovereign here must be monumental, a secret of great significance. After brief hesitation, Lin Moyu made his decision to investigate further despite knowing he shouldn't involve himself. He felt strongly that retreating now would leave an indelible mark on his Tao heart, hindering him in future cultivation. Thus, it became imperative for him to uncover at least part of this mystery, even if only glimpsing fragments of truth. However, he couldn't approach recklessly. Being discovered by the human sovereign would spell certain death. No virtual beasts or living beings existed nearby, a clear indication that secrecy was paramount for whatever transpired here. To avoid detection, Lin Moyu devised a plan. As long as I don't get too close, it should be fine. I'll use my illusory body instead of my true form. That way, even if discovered, it won't lead back to me. Illusory bodies differed from avatars. They couldn't be traced back to their original forms even if exposed. Moreover, Lin Moyu planned to keep his distance, observing from 10 million kilometers away, which should suffice for safety. Under Lin Moyu's command, Little Python retreated silently into deeper parts of Soul Void before accelerating further away until reaching limits of control over illusory bodies and stopping there. Activating his Thousand Paths and Myriad Images formation, Lin Moyu concealed himself within before creating an entirely new illusory body outside it. This illusory body transformed into an outsider appearance completely unrelated to Lin Moyu physically or spiritually. Adding layers of complexity, a divine rune altered its aura, further diverging from Lin Moyu's own essence entirely. Now neither appearance nor presence bore any connection between them. Even cause and effect, great Tao would struggle linking them together without direct evidence. Finally, a highly intricate divine rune enveloped this illusory body in smoke, rendering it invisible. Even Lin Moyu himself couldn't sense its existence anymore. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3769, 3769. Chapter 3769, Rift in the Soul Void. The illusory body, carrying out its mission, silently flew toward the Beast Abyss. Lin Moyu had imbued it with a divine rune called the Void Fusion Rune, an improved version of the Void Travel Rune. Its purpose was to merge the rune with the void, concealing all traces of its presence and making it nearly imperceptible. Combined with the naturally weak aura of an illusory body, the effect was flawless. This technique was reminiscent of a lich named Jin Yi, whose stealth during Jin Yi Night Walk achieved similar results, but Lin Moyu's illusory body surpassed it in effectiveness. Lin Moyu's mastery of divine runes had advanced significantly. He had begun creating his own runes, forging a unique path rather than following established methods. The illusory body approached the beast abyss, transmitting everything it saw back to Lin Moyu. Gradually, it caught sight of the human sovereign. This was Lin Moyu's first time seeing the human sovereign, but he recognized him instantly. The human sovereign wore an exquisite soul garment that radiated an indescribable aura. His entire soul glowed with noble purple light. Even as a soul body, his presence was extraordinary. Compared to him, Wood Slaughter Realm Master seemed insignificant, like a mere shadow. Thanks to the Void Fusion rune, the illusory body's gaze blended seamlessly with space itself, preventing the human sovereign from noticing its observation. The illusory body stopped at a distance of 10 million kilometers from the human sovereign, close enough to observe but far enough to remain safe. It saw the human sovereign seated within Beast Abyss, motionless. Invisible forces alternated between expanding outward and retracting inward. It appeared as though he were meditating or cultivating. However, Lin Moyu knew better. The human sovereign wasn't here simply to meditate. What is he doing? Lin Moyu wondered aloud, sensing that something significant was about to happen. Rather than wait idly, he drew another divine rune, a rune that emitted faint great Tao energy. This energy was purely illusory, not real. He placed his soul refining furnace within this aura, using the rune's energy to mask its presence entirely. In this place, caution was paramount. Pouring large quantities of soul crystals into the furnace, Lin Moyu began refining void soul pills. Little Python watched eagerly. Master, can I have some of these pills when they're done? Lin Moyu replied, you'll get your share. Little Python cheered excitedly. Master is the best. You're number one in soul void. Amused by Little Python's antics, Lin Moyu chose not to respond further. The soul refining furnace worked tirelessly to produce triple refined void soul pills. Each pill required 1,000 soul crystals for refinement. While their effects for cultivators were slightly inferior to directly absorbing soul crystals, they were far superior for virtual beasts. Triple refined void soul pills were significantly better than single refined ones, approaching over 90% of a soul crystal's effectiveness. Moreover, they were easier to refine, saving considerable time, which justified setting a higher price. Based on calculations, a single soul crystal valued at 30 soul pearls meant that each triple refined void soul pill should be priced at around 10,000 soul pearls. However, the final price would depend on appraisal by the trading market's formation, not Lin Moyu's estimation. Soul crystals varied in quality from 9th tier to 2nd tier souls. Lin Moyu mixed them together evenly during refinement, ensuring uniform size and effectiveness for all pills produced. This eliminated any need for differentiation during sales. All pills would be treated equally. Refining void soul pills took time, and Lin Moyu waited patiently as he worked. After 1 month, most of his soul crystals had been refined into void soul pills, a total of 15,000 pills. Next came double refinement. From 15,000 single refined pills he produced 1,500 double refined ones. Finally, triple refinement yielded 150 triple refined void soul pills. If priced at 30,000 soul pearls each as Lin Moyu hoped, the total value would reach 4.5 million soul pearls, not only enough to enter Market 9 but also sufficient for substantial purchases there. Double refinement took another 2 months, and triple refinement promised an even longer process ahead. Just as triple refinement began, the human sovereign stirred after months of stillness. His aura surged suddenly. A vast force transformed into radiant great Tao energy erupting from Beast Abyss and illuminating countless paths across Soul Void. 8 great Taos! Lin Moyu exclaimed in shock. The human sovereign controlled 8 great Taos, a number surpassing his own abilities. Metal, wood, water, fire, earth, the 5 elements, great Tao, space, great Tao, fate, great Tao, and destruction, great Tao. Lin Moyu identified all 8 paths clearly. Among them, the destruction great Tao stood supreme, brilliant and powerful. It overshadowed all others like a towering mountain, suppressing its peers. As master of destruction, the human sovereign had projected his great Tao into returning origin land, achieving true eternal existence. As long as origin ancestral land persisted, the human sovereign could not die, and destruction remained his strongest path. Below destruction, the remaining 7 Taos stood equally balanced but lacked harmony overall due to their inherent nature. The 5 elements were real-type Taos. Space combined real and illusory aspects. Fate was purely illusory. Destruction blended both real and illusory dimensions. This imbalance skewed toward reality, suggesting that while formidable in Soul Void, the human sovereign's combat strength peaked in reality instead. Yet even at partial strength within Soul Void, the human sovereign remained nearly invincible throughout World Tree Great Spirit Domain, with only World Tree Emperor able to challenge him directly. Raising his left hand gently, the human sovereign grasped firmly. Boom! The rift larger than a small spirit domain materialized instantly. Manifesting an invisible giant hand, the human sovereign seized control over this massive rift completely. Raising his right hand similarly, a radiant glow emerged from Beast Abyss as he extracted its essence. Yin-yang, real and illusory. Lin Moyu gasped, recognizing profound forces emanating from Beast Abyss containing yin-yang energies tied intimately with universal origins. Beast Abyss connected realms of reality and illusion, harboring immense yin-yang power partially representing fundamental origins themselves. Capturing these energies alongside countless screaming virtual beasts, all first-tier souls brimming immense strength, the human sovereign absorbed their power entirely, channeling it into his left hand. Boom! The rift trembled violently as roars echoed faintly from within. Lin Moyu stared wide-eyed, realizing something lurked deep inside this rift. Witnessing such scenes expanded Lin Moyu's understanding profoundly. It felt like discovering an entirely new world. From within, spatial distortions, furious roars continued endlessly, shaking void and twisting space into chaotic spirals resembling braided threads. Despite relentless struggles, nothing escaped the human sovereign's grasp. Amidst spatial chaos, Lin Moyu's illusory body shattered like foam bubbles. Squinting slightly, Lin Moyu murmured, "So this is called Rift in Soul Void. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3770, 3770. Chapter 3770, Growing Wiser. The massive rift, known as the Rift in Soul Void, held a mysterious entity within it. This being had attempted to use the rift to escape but ultimately failed. The human sovereign's strength was already at an astonishing level. As the master of destruction and one of the most powerful beings, he wielded yin-yang, real and illusory forces, making his combat prowess unparalleled. Even in Soul Void, his power was terrifying. In the real world, he would undoubtedly be even more formidable. Moreover, with an eternal stage world will under his control, the combined strength of the human sovereign and his world will was unimaginable. Lin Moyu felt a chill run through him as he instinctively compared the human sovereign to the green-robed old man. The result was unexpected. They couldn't be compared. While the human sovereign's strength was difficult to predict, it was at least within sight. His limitations could be inferred. The rift in Soul Void served as a reference point. Even the human sovereign couldn't fully control it in a short time. Furthermore, Lin Moyu's illusory body had managed to evade detection by the human sovereign, proving that he wasn't omnipotent or omniscient. But when it came to the green-robed old man, that figure's strength was entirely unknown, shrouded in chaos with no discernible limits. If the old man Lin Moyu had seen during a skill demonstration years ago was indeed the green-robed old man, then his power might surpass even that of the human sovereign. Shaking his head lightly, Lin Moyu dismissed these unrealistic thoughts. Such comparisons were meaningless for him at this stage. Both figures were far beyond his current capabilities. Focusing on practical matters was far more important. Still, Lin Moyu hadn't given up. These two beings were among his ultimate goals to surpass. No matter how powerful they were, he vowed to become stronger. Was the rift in Soul Void naturally formed or artificially created? And what exactly is hiding inside it? The human sovereign mentioned working toward a great cause, true immortality. He's already an eternal existence, so what does immortality mean to him? Could immortality be his ultimate pursuit? The human sovereign's establishment of trading markets and dissemination of soul pearls had left imprints on countless great Tao cultivators and Tao lords across worlds within the World Tree Great Spirit Domain. Perhaps all of this was part of his quest for so-called immortality. But what exactly was this immortality? A realm? A state? With too little information available, Lin Moyu couldn't comprehend it yet. Once this journey ends, I'll ask discernment beast about it. It should know something. Setting aside these thoughts, Lin Moyu resumed refining void soul pills. He buried today's events deep within himself. It was a closely guarded secret that few would ever know about due to the human sovereign's methods. 3 months later, the triple refined void soul pills were finally completed, a total of 150 pills. If sold at Lin Moyu's estimated price of 30,000 soul pearls each, they could generate 4.5 million soul pearls. Even after deducting transaction fees, over 4 million pearls would remain enough for significant purchases. Spending just over a year to earn 4 million soul pearls was an achievement most cultivators couldn't even dream of. Moreover, Lin Moyu had done so without any material costs, only investing time. After storing away his soul refining furnace and thousand paths and myriad images formation, Little Python asked, "Master, are we heading back to the trading market now?" Tossing it a triple refined void soul pill, Lin Moyu replied, "Not yet, it's too soon. Returning now would reveal how easily I can refine pills." Little Python eagerly devoured the pill, its body glowing faintly as its aura surged. A single triple refined void soul pill surpassed the effects of 100 ordinary ones. Having consumed many pills before, Little Python had accumulated significant medicinal power within itself but remained in a state of slow absorption. This new pill seemed to activate those reserves, causing its aura to rise rapidly until it broke through into second-tier soul level within half an hour. Unlike other breakthroughs, it occurred silently without any grand spectacle or earth-shattering phenomena. Letting out an excited roar that shook their vacuum surroundings, Little Python exclaimed, "Master! I've reached second-tier soul." Lin Moyu smiled. "When you reach first-tier soul level and if you want to become a small spirit domain king, I'll give you an innate virtual treasure to refine." Little Python shook its head. "I don't want to be a small spirit domain king the first, just want to follow you." It seemed smarter now, even resisting the temptation of becoming a small spirit domain king, and preferred staying by Lin Moyu's side. Lin Moyu let it be. "All right then, let's explore this vacuum zone and look for great Dao beasts." Great Dao beast essences were highly valuable in Market 8. A small cluster sold for 200,000 soul pearls. Lin Moyu already possessed one large and one small cluster, the smaller worth 200,000 pearls while the larger could fetch over 500,000, but he hadn't sold them yet. Too many people coveted great Dao beast essences, revealing them would invite trouble. Wood Slaughter Realm Master knew Lin Moyu could hunt great Dao beasts but seemed more interested in void soul pills and never mentioned them directly. Since returning to the trading market wasn't an option for now, Lin Moyu decided to search for great Dao beasts here instead. Their essences could benefit his thousand worlds greatly. Many people hunted great Dao beasts in this vacuum zone, including Dao lords from both humanity and outsider alliance realms, as well as realm masters who sent their subordinates on such missions. Both factions often operated in groups, but lone hunters like Lin Moyu were rare. Confident in his abilities, Lin Moyu avoided forming alliances or trusting anyone in this unfamiliar territory where treachery lurked everywhere. In this vast vacuum zone filled with dazzling colors, even undead eyes struggled against visual interference, but Little Python found navigation easier. To its eyes the area appeared pitch black, with virtual illusory realms and great Dao beasts standing out clearly amidst darkness. A month passed without encountering anything, not great Dao beasts, not virtual illusory realms, not even other human or outsider Dao lords. All they saw were vibrant displays of great Dao fireworks, and even Little Python couldn't detect anything unusual. Such conditions were normal for vacuum zones, which often remained empty for long stretches before yielding results. Shi Haifeng had mentioned that finding one great Dao beast often took decades, and successfully hunting one could take centuries depending on luck and circumstances. Another 3 months passed with no discoveries. Frowning slightly, Lin Moyu muttered, "Something feels off." Little Python agreed nervously. "It does feel strange, I think we've been here before." Scanning their surroundings carefully, Lin Moyu speculated, "Perhaps we've entered a virtual illusory realm." ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3771, 3771. Chapter 3771, The Wolf Has Arrived. The virtual illusory realms are diverse and unpredictable, taking countless forms that defy exhaustive description. Even with millions of years, it would be impossible to explore every virtual illusory realm. These realms are believed to form in the gaps between the real world and soul void, created by the collision of multiple great Daos and infused with innate primordial materials. When innate primordial materials develop rudimentary intelligence, these realms become dangerous. Upon entering this vacuum zone, Lin Moyu encountered a virtual illusory realm where the innate primordial material had developed simple intelligence, making the realm perilous. Without such intelligence, the danger level of these realms would drop significantly. In this case, Lin Moyu wasn't even aware of when he had entered the virtual illusory realm. It must have been some time ago. The lack of noticeable changes or threats had delayed his realization. Lin Moyu signaled Little Python to remain still while deploying numerous skeletal generals to explore the area. Regardless of size, every virtual illusory realm has boundaries. Finding them is simply a matter of searching. Little Python asked, "Master, is it possible that there are no boundaries?" Lin Moyu replied, "Nothing is absolute, anything is possible. If there are no boundaries, that's normal too. I once entered a secret realm without boundaries, or at least not in the conventional sense. Its boundaries were interconnected. If my guess is correct, this realm might function similarly. It's likely composed of materials tied to the space Great Tao or illusion Great Tao." Listening to Lin Moyu's explanation, Little Python's eyes sparkled. "Master, how do you figure these things out?" Lin Moyu smiled knowingly. Experience teaches everything. He applied insights from his experiences in small world instances and great world secret realms, principles that remained consistent across variations. Natural evolution ensures that differences exist but rarely deviate from foundational principles unless intentionally altered by external forces. As skeletal generals searched tirelessly, they finally reached the edge of the virtual illusory realm. When one skeletal general suddenly vanished and reappeared millions of kilometers away, Lin Moyu understood the nature of this realm. It was a boundary loop structure. Reaching one edge would teleport you to its corresponding opposite side. With this understanding, Lin Moyu focused on mapping its shape. Using coordinates from where skeletal generals disappeared, he connected points systematically to outline the realm's structure. The virtual illusory realm formed a spherical shape, a three-dimensional loop resembling an egg. This egg was massive, with a diameter exceeding 50 million kilometers. Space within it was segmented, making normal escape methods ineffective. However, Lin Moyu had no intention of leaving, yet having entered this realm, he aimed to obtain its innate primordial material. Other Tao lords might struggle under such circumstances, but Lin Moyu was far from helpless. His first target was the center of the realm. Given its symmetrical structure, the material was most likely located at its core. Guided by his mental map, it didn't take long for Lin Moyu to reach the center point. At first glance, the center appeared unremarkable, indistinguishable from surrounding areas. Little Python remarked curiously, "There's nothing here." Lin Moyu chuckled, "Just because it looks empty doesn't mean it truly is." Activating his Ice Jade Lotus platform, Lin Moyu unleashed vast amounts of cold energy. Instantly, a radius of millions of kilometers froze solid, revealing a circular cavity resembling a spatial tear amidst the ice. The cavity trembled violently, cracking and expanding as it struggled against its icy confinement. Attempting escape, the material caused fractures throughout the frozen region, but Lin Moyu smirked. "Caught trying to flee? Not so fast." Maintaining continuous cold energy from his Ice Jade Lotus platform, he prevented its escape while preparing his Thousand Paths and Myriad Images formation. Once the ice shattered, the material would fall directly into his formation trap. Observing the circular material closely, Lin Moyu discerned its characteristics. It lacked true intelligence but possessed faint sentience due to its high-tier innate primordial nature, a trait that drove its instinctive desire to evade discovery and capture. In origin continent terms, it would qualify as sentient material, a favorite resource for his infinite fusion artifact star. "It's been ages since I fed it something good. This sentient material will be perfect." Thinking about infinite fusion, Lin Moyu couldn't help but smile fondly like a proud parent. This artifact had followed him for years, providing invaluable assistance. It was time to reward it with something exceptional. Innate primordial material at this level might even trigger evolutionary growth for infinite fusion. Little Python asked, "Why didn't we notice this earlier?" Lin Moyu explained, "It can camouflage itself, merging seamlessly with its surroundings. As long as it remains motionless, it's nearly undetectable." Little Python nodded in understanding, or at least pretended to understand fully. Finally, the ice shattered with a loud crack and the circular material darted away, instantly vanishing from sight entirely. Merging into Soul Void, it became invisible and untraceable, but Lin Moyu activated his Thousand Paths and Myriad Images formation immediately. Brilliant Great Tao energy illuminated the area, forcing the material back into visibility within his formation trap. Inside, the material charged recklessly from one region to another but found no escape route. The formation resembled an enormous labyrinth. No matter how hard it tried, it couldn't break free. Watching calmly, Lin Moyu refrained from engaging directly. Judging by its strength during earlier collisions with ice, it could strike as powerfully as a Tao Lord, not worth confronting head-on unnecessarily. Eventually, it would adapt to its environment and naturally settle down. Meanwhile, it could experience what being trapped felt like, a fitting payback for Lin Moyu's months-long aimless wandering here. Hours later, the material finally slowed down. Realizing that neither ice nor fire nor water nor lightning could harm it, it stopped resisting altogether and chose a fiery area within the formation as its resting place. Little Python asked eagerly, "Master, it's not moving anymore, should we act now?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "Not yet. You ever heard of the boy who cried wolf?" Confused Little Python shook its head blankly. Laughing softly, Lin Moyu replied cryptically, "This is, the wolf has arrived." With a thought, a fiery staff resembling his catastrophic scepter appeared within the formation and struck toward the circular material repeatedly. Unaffected by these strikes, the material showed no signs of evasion, even vibrating mockingly as though taunting Lin Moyu's futile attempts. After hundreds of strikes, Lin Moyu finally tossed his catastrophic scepter into the formation. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Thanks for the donation, Roger. Asterisk 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 asterisk. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3772, 3772. Chapter 3772, The Three Lives Buddha's Arrangement. The wolf had truly arrived. The catastrophic scepter, engulfed in flames, struck down powerfully. The slightly sentient innate primordial material didn't dodge or evade, but instead met the scepter head-on. Bang! A crisp sound reverberated, shaking the soul. Cracks spread across the material, and numerous rifts appeared in the surrounding void. Beyond the rifts lay a vacuum zone. This vacuum zone was part of the virtual illusory realm. Two overlapping spaces made it difficult to distinguish reality from illusion. Bang! Another strike shattered the material into several pieces. Despite being broken into fragments, the material retained its considerable size and quality. Its sentience weakened but remained intact, making it superior to any other material Lin Moyu had acquired before. As Lin Moyu prepared to collect it, a piercing scream erupted from within the material, a scream composed of countless voices that shook the soul. Little Python let out a cry of pain as its soul was injured, causing it to faint on the spot. Lin Moyu frowned. What is this? It truly was a ghost. Numerous souls emerged from the core of the material. These souls included virtual beasts, humans, and outsiders, all tangled together into a grotesque form. So that's what it is. Lin Moyu quickly understood these were souls of beings who had lost their way in this virtual illusory realm and died within it. Their fragmented souls had been absorbed by the primordial material and fused together over time. These fragmented souls had long lost their intelligence, reduced to mere instincts and obsessions, no different from wandering ghosts. However, because they were once powerful beings, their combined strength now surpassed that of a Tao Lord. Without hesitation, Lin Moyu activated his Thousand Paths and Myriad Images formation at full power to engulf them. Simultaneously, he unleashed world-burning fire into the formation to incinerate the fragmented souls. When dealing with souls, world-burning fire was undoubtedly the most effective tool. The fragmented souls screamed in agony under its flames as Lin Moyu murmured softly, "Rest in peace and reincarnate smoothly in your next life." His words seemed directed at these souls like a prayer for their release. He tossed out another soul flower to envelop Little Python, whose injuries had left it gravely weakened. Meanwhile, the circular primordial material remained divided into 5 fragments, enduring world-burning fire's relentless blaze. Thanks to its innate nature, even years under such flames wouldn't damage its structure. The real targets were the fragmented souls trapped within. One by one, the souls were refined into soul crystals despite being mere remnants. Suddenly, a radiant glow burst forth from world-burning fire, and a lotus of light appeared in the void. Amida Buddha, a resonant Buddhist chant echoed as a golden Buddha manifested atop the lotus. This golden Buddha was merely a remnant soul, its body hazy and ethereal, but its former strength was undeniable. This is someone beyond Tao Lord level. But how could a Buddha appear here? Weren't they buried long ago? Questions filled Lin Moyu's mind as he observed this Buddha. Seated atop the lotus, the golden Buddha temporarily resisted world-burning fire. It turned its gaze toward Lin Moyu. Benefactor, you are fated with my Buddha. Lin Moyu frowned inwardly. Fated my foot. Before Lin Moyu could respond, the golden Buddha spoke again. Denying fate is futile. The three lives secret method cannot be deceived. Lin Moyu's body trembled slightly as he guessed the Buddha's identity. You're one of the three lives Buddhas. Amida Buddha. The golden Buddha chanted once more before continuing. The three lives Buddha has passed. I am his incarnation named Rebirth. I have been waiting here for you. Lin Moyu found this increasingly unbelievable. You've been waiting for me. Rebirth Buddha explained. The three lives Buddha peered into the river of fate and foresaw future traces, including his inevitable death. Thus he created me as an incarnation named Rebirth to await you here. If true, the three lives Buddha possessed extraordinary abilities to glimpse past, present, and future. Lin Moyu asked skeptically, if that's so, why are you in such a state? Rebirth Buddha replied, when the three lives Buddha perished with his era, I too could not survive as his incarnation. My only means of survival was merging with this innate primordial material. Fortunately, the three lives Buddha's foresight was accurate, allowing Rebirth to meet you here, a blessing indeed. Lin Moyu asked bluntly, why have you been waiting for me? Rebirth Buddha explained further, the three lives Buddha glimpsed a secret land within the river of fate where he left certain items behind. However, fate is ever-changing and whether you can find them remains uncertain even beyond his vision. Contemplating these words, Lin Moyu weighed their credibility. From what he knew, the three lives Buddha had been killed by Origin Continent's world will. If aware of its existence beforehand, it wasn't impossible for him to make preparations. As one of his era's strongest figures and creator of the three lives secret method, the three lives Buddha's power likely surpassed even that of the Hell Master. Perhaps he had attempted resistance back then but ultimately failed. Rebirth Buddha waited patiently for Lin Moyu's decision without pressing him further. After some thought, Lin Moyu asked quietly, where is this secret land located? Rebirth Buddha answered, in Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain. If you choose to go, I will use my remaining soul power to open a path for you. Teleportation within Soul Void. Lin Moyu marveled at such an ability. It was beyond his current capabilities. That someone like Rebirth could achieve this spoke volumes about how powerful the three lives Buddha must have been during his prime. Yet even he had fallen to Origin Continent's world will, a testament to its overwhelming strength. And that world will was only at its formative stage. Imagining what an eternal stage world will would be like sent chills through Lin Moyu. He asked cautiously, what if I choose not to go? Rebirth Buddha replied calmly. The three lives Buddha foresaw such possibilities. It would simply mean fate has decided otherwise. It cannot be forced. Just as you are destined to inherit parts of his three lives secret method, this too is tied to karma and destiny. I am merely an incarnation left here for millennia to relay this message. My task is complete and I shall now dissipate. Lin Moyu made up his mind. In that case, I'll go take a look. Rebirth Buddha chanted another Buddhist mantra before declaring solemnly, so be it, I shall fulfill my duty as commanded by the three lives Buddha and open Soul Void's gate for you. As mantras echoed through space, they transformed into countless divine runes floating across Soul Void. One fragment of shattered primordial material rose, automatically integrating itself into these runes to form a gateway. Watching this process unfold, Lin Moyu noticed one final fragment was still missing from completing the gate. Using innate primordial material as energy, the gate would enable teleportation within Soul Void itself. Rebirth's golden lotus ascended into place, completing the final piece needed for activation. By now the golden Buddha appeared increasingly translucent, as though on the verge of vanishing entirely. Benefactor, please proceed. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3773, 3773. Chapter 3773, Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain. Lin Moyu bowed slightly toward the golden Buddha. Thank you. He collected the remaining 4 pieces of primordial material, stored Little Python away, and stepped cautiously into the gateway. Though his demeanor appeared calm, Lin Moyu remained vigilant, keeping his soul perception heightened to detect any anomalies. Fortunately, his soul didn't sense any danger. The path seemed safe. Upon entering, a force tugged at his soul as spatial power surged downward, elongating the world visible to him. The world stretched further and further, and as it did, Lin Moyu felt himself traversing infinite distances. Along the way, he glimpsed hidden great Dao beasts within the vacuum zone, their numbers exceeding his expectations. He saw Beast Abyss and the human sovereign within it. The human sovereign seemed to notice him too. Lin Moyu caught a hint of surprise in his expression. Even the human sovereign appeared astonished by the teleportation. How had the Three Lives Buddha achieved such a feat back then? The human sovereign faded from view as the world tree Great Spirit domain disappeared from sight. The world stretched until it finally shattered entirely. The teleportation abruptly stopped, and Lin Moyu's vision returned to normal. Before him, a radiant light shot forth from afar, sweeping across soul void before vanishing instantly. Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain. Lin Moyu realized he had arrived at Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain. During the teleportation, he vaguely sensed passing through 3 Great Spirit Domains and 3 vacuum zones before reaching this destination. Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain was exceedingly far from Golden Furnace Great Spirit Domain. How did the Three Lives Buddha find this place back then? Was it to avoid Origin Continent's world will? What exactly did he leave here? As Lin Moyu pondered, another beam of radiant light swept past from a different angle, traversing soul void before disappearing again. Observing further, he noticed that every 10 minutes a massive beam of radiant light would sweep across this domain. The light seemed to originate from the domain's center, repeatedly scanning its entirety. This phenomenon gave Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain its name. Carefully surveying his surroundings, Lin Moyu speculated about the Three Lives Buddha's arrangements. If he had left something here for millennia, it wouldn't be placed carelessly, it would have been hidden securely. Moreover, the Buddha had mentioned that finding it depended on Lin Moyu's luck, a hint that unexpected challenges might arise. Fate is ever-changing, and after countless years, space itself would have undergone drastic transformations. Hopefully it's still here, or this trip will be for nothing. Releasing Little Python, Lin Moyu let it carry him through Soul Void while deploying numerous skeletal generals to assist in searching. Another beam of radiant light swept past, striking one of his skeletal generals directly. The impact sent the general flying, shattering its bones and leaving it half destroyed. This radiant light is quite powerful. Lin Moyu was startled. The light wasn't merely passing through, it could injure those caught in its path. For weaker beings, it might even result in instant death. Every Great Spirit Domain has unique characteristics derived from innate primordial virtual treasures wielded by its emperor. This must be Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain's defining trait. Little Python witnessed this scene and muttered, "The virtual beasts living here must have a tough life." Lin Moyu responded, "They've likely adapted. The light must follow a pattern, I'll figure it out soon. If there's a pattern, it can be managed. The real question is where the Three Lives Buddha's items might have been swept away by this light." Little Python added, "Even if there's a pattern and virtual beasts can adapt, what about worlds?" Worlds. Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. The Three Lives Buddha likely hid his items within a world. Drawing a world-seeking rune, Lin Moyu began searching for nearby worlds. He theorized that radiant light would be harmless to worlds, their barriers would filter out its energy like they do with great Tao forces. Thus, the Buddha likely placed his items inside one such world. Given his arrival here, it was reasonable to assume they were in the nearest world. However, in vast soul void, finding worlds wasn't easy even for someone like the Three Lives Buddha. Without a world-seeking rune, the task would indeed be challenging, but with one it became manageable. As the rune floated forward slowly, Lin Moyu and Little Python followed closely behind. Meanwhile, he continued observing changes in Radiant Light's position. Though it occurred every 10 minutes, the locations varied slightly each time. But Lin Moyu believed there was an underlying pattern. If there weren't one, a domain filled with virtual beasts wouldn't survive long under such conditions. Half a day later, Lin Moyu finally deciphered the pattern. The radiant light consistently swept in one direction, and after 3 sweeps it would retreat slightly before continuing in cycles. Mapping space with latitude and longitude lines, he calculated that approximately 360 sweeps were required for the light to cover the entire domain completely. At 10-minute intervals, that equated to 6 sweeps per hour or 60 hours per cycle. Once discovered, the pattern simplified navigation significantly. Avoiding 1 or 2 sweeps ensured safety for nearly 60 hours afterward without encountering radiant light again. Sharing this insight with Little Python, it quickly grasped how to evade danger effectively. As they followed the world-seeking rune, another beam struck, destroying it instantly. Unfazed, Lin Moyu drew another rune immediately. With an unlimited supply of these runes, they could be recreated endlessly as needed. After enduring 5 more attacks and redrawing 5 more runes, they finally reached their first world. Rather than entering immediately, Lin Moyu paused. The 3 lives Buddha had waited millennia, a little more time wouldn't matter now. He wanted to test a hypothesis first. When radiant light swept across this world, it was blocked entirely by its barrier, which filtered and dispersed its energy before allowing it to reform beyond its boundaries. Standing behind this world alongside Little Python, they remained unharmed by subsequent sweeps. Radiant light doesn't affect worlds after all. This explains why most virtual beasts here likely reside within worlds. While not particularly intelligent, they instinctively seek shelter from harm, and worlds provide safe havens against radiant light. Lin Moyu suspected that entering this world would lead him into conflict. Deploying his undead army, they breached its barrier effortlessly. Inside, a flood of soul flames illuminated Undead Eye, revealing countless virtual beasts packed tightly together. The sheer number exceeded Lin Moyu's imagination. The entire world resembled a prison crammed full of virtual beasts. Despite their proximity, they coexisted peacefully, a miraculous sight indeed. Stunned by this discovery, Lin Moyu couldn't help but marvel at how vast and unpredictable worlds could be. His arrival triggered reactions among some virtual beasts, but his undead army acted first. Led by commanders, the Dragon Riders charged forward, forming battle formations, while skeletal generals provided rear support, eliminating stragglers. Wave after wave of undead forces carved paths through clusters of virtual beasts, leaving devastation in their wake. Meanwhile, world-burning fire raged fiercely, turning void into seas of flames amid endless cries from dying virtual beasts. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3774, 3774. Chapter 3774, Discernment. Beast was wrong. This world should have been a feast for world-burning fire, but unfortunately, the fire had reached its bottleneck. Without a suitable world to refine, it could no longer grow stronger. The undead army charged ahead, overwhelming the disorganized virtual beasts that stood no chance against their coordinated assault. Under the command of their leader, the undead army attacked with precision, injuring but not killing, leaving the final blow to world-burning fire. The fire blazed fiercely, reducing the virtual beasts to soul crystals. Riding atop Little Python, Lin Moyu traversed the sea of flames while observing the world's interior. Judging by this world, it seems that in Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain's real worlds, virtual beasts have likely overrun everything. If that's true, then Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain's worlds wouldn't be able to produce powerful lifeforms. Virtual beasts dominated these worlds completely. Any emerging lifeforms would have their souls devoured by virtual beasts before they could grow strong. Under such circumstances, how could powerful beings ever arise? If true, Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain could be considered a paradise for virtual beasts but a death zone for other lifeforms. Lin Moyu believed his speculation was likely a harsh reality. As long as radiant light continued sweeping across the domain, virtual beasts would instinctively burrow into worlds, filling them and preventing new life from emerging. This particular world was small, the smallest Lin Moyu had ever seen, even smaller than the one occupied by Soul Heart King. Comparing it to a dead world he had previously refined, Lin Moyu found little difference between them. This world had existed for many years but couldn't grow due to Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain's unique conditions, making it impossible for a world will to form. Not only was this place a death zone for life, it was also a forbidden zone for world wills. Before long, this small world changed ownership. The virtual beasts were slaughtered entirely, and the undead army claimed it. Lin Moyu easily located the world's origin core, a weak mist barely protecting it. Summoning the 5 elements giant and using an innate virtual treasure, Lin Moyu dispersed the mist effortlessly, revealing the core. As the mist cleared, a brilliant Buddha light illuminated everything and a low Buddhist chant followed. Amida Buddha. Lin Moyu smiled faintly. So it's here after all. It hadn't taken much effort, he had found what the 3 lives Buddha left behind with surprising ease. However, when he saw the world's origin core, a look of astonishment crossed his face. The core had transformed into a lotus platform upon which sat a golden Buddha. The Buddha's eyes were closed as he chanted softly, emanating scriptures that turned into divine runes encircling him like a radiant sun. Under this sun-like aura the surrounding space shimmered brilliantly, bathed in golden splendor. Meanwhile a vast aura steadily revived around him. Lin Moyu watched quietly, his expression tinged with amusement. Though unexpected, the situation seemed logical upon reflection. The golden Buddha before him was none other than the Three Lives Buddha. The Three Lives Buddha wasn't dead. Moments later the chanting ceased and the Three Lives Buddha slowly opened his eyes. His gaze was deep and gentle, as though encompassing entire worlds. "Greetings, benefactor," he said warmly. Without moving, the Three Lives Buddha projected an enormous Buddha phantom from behind him which bowed deeply toward Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu returned the courtesy. "Greetings, senior. I never expected you to deceive everyone and survive until now." According to history, the Three Lives Buddha had perished during the Second Era's demise. Even Discernment Beast claimed he was dead. Yet here he was proving that even Discernment Beast wasn't infallible. The Three Lives Buddha remarked, "Discernment Beast is all-knowing, but perfection is impossible even for it." Lin Moyu chuckled. "True, it can hear everything, but if we don't speak it hears nothing. Discernment Beast relied on sound to perceive, it couldn't create knowledge from silence. With careful planning it could be deceived." The Three Lives Buddha had done just that, successfully fooling even Discernment Beast, a true feat of deception. Speaking softly, the Three Lives Buddha said, "You must be curious about how I survived." Lin Moyu admitted openly, "I am indeed curious. If you're willing to share, I'm all ears." The Three Lives Buddha explained, "During an epiphany I glimpsed the Fate Great Tao and discovered that world wills loom overhead but can be circumvented. My Buddhist disciples seek nothing, but we refuse to be puppets or slaves. Thus I began making preparations. Before they noticed me, I scattered countless incarnations beyond worlds in search of escape routes. By chance I found that gate." Lin Moyu was startled. "That gate?" The Three Lives Buddha nodded. "Your guess is correct, it was that gate. Using my life's accumulation I opened a small crack and peered into its secrets. From it I gained certain benefits and managed to evade detection by world wills, saving my life. I ventured into endless soul void, explored countless veils of mystery, and eventually arrived here where I seized this world and hid within its origin core, awaiting opportunity." Lin Moyu asked, "If you obtained that gate long ago, why did you abandon it later?" The Three Lives Buddha replied, "For two reasons. First, that gate is incredibly difficult to open. Even with millions of years' effort I could only create a small crack. Moreover, it couldn't fit within spatial storage. I couldn't carry it while fleeing and had no choice but to leave it behind. Second, opening that crack alerted an entity behind the gate, a terrifying being that made me too afraid to open it again." Hearing this explanation clarified much for Lin Moyu, including why even the Hell Master abandoned that gate later on. In the Three Lives Buddha's era, a crack in that gate yielded benefits but also awakened something behind it. When that gate fell into Hell Master's hands, he disguised it using Hell Gate and spent millions of years accumulating power before reopening it. This time the entity didn't just stir, it emerged fully through that gate. Both Hell Master and Three Lives Buddha abandoned that gate afterward for survival. They couldn't take it with them. And now that entity roamed somewhere in this world searching for that gate once more. What exactly transpired during these events remained unclear, but perhaps delving into Time River someday might reveal answers. However, for now it wasn't yet time. Navigating Time River required extensive preparation. Lin Moyu remarked, "In my era a powerful figure obtained that gate and reopened it. The entity behind has already emerged." The Three Lives Buddha showed no surprise, instead chanting softly, "Perhaps, this too is fate." ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3775, 3775. Chapter 3775, The Cause-Seeking Ring. The Three Lives Buddha had once peered into the Fate Great Tao, not just once, but many times. Through these repeated glimpses, he saw far into the future and countless possibilities, leading him to place unwavering faith in fate. To Lin Moyu, this faith was both a shackle and a burden. Many cultivators were like this, they trusted their Great Tao completely. However, when that trust exceeded its limits, their Great Tao became a cage. For the Three Lives Buddha, the Fate Great Tao was both his cage and his heart's obstacle, something only he could overcome. Lin Moyu remarked, "Senior, after arriving in Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain, you surely didn't just sleep here. Am I correct in assuming so? Moreover, your choice of Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain wasn't random, there must have been deeper reasons behind it." The Three Lives Buddha nodded. You are correct. My actions were not without cause. The root lies in what I obtained from beyond that gate. Lin Moyu's curiosity deepened. What did you obtain? The heaven-concealing stone, the void disk, and the myriad intent diagram. Without hesitation, the Three Lives Buddha revealed what he had gained. His acquisitions overlapped with those of the Hell Master but also differed in some aspects. The heaven-concealing stone was identical. It could deceive even world wills by erasing one's true spirit from origin continent, granting freedom. However, it required convincing the world will that one was already dead for the stone to fully activate. The Hell Master had used the Immortal gem in conjunction with the heaven-concealing stone to achieve this deception. In contrast, the Three Lives Buddha relied on his Three Lives secret method, which allowed him to create incarnations indistinguishable from his true self when infused with soul power. By combining an incarnation with the heaven-concealing stone, he successfully deceived the world will and regained his freedom. Although he suffered some losses, it was far less severe than the Hell Master's prolonged slumber of millions of years. After regaining his freedom, the Three Lives Buddha wasn't truly safe, so he used the void disk to traverse vast distances across soul void and reality. The void disk enabled synchronized teleportation between realms covering billions of kilometers instantly with astonishing speed. Through repeated teleportation, he eventually reached Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain. Having glimpsed future events through the Fate Great Tao, the Three Lives Buddha sent an incarnation to Golden Furnace Great Spirit Domain's vacuum zone, where it entered a virtual illusory realm. There, he merged with innate primordial material to preserve himself until Lin Moyu's arrival. Over countless years, numerous virtual beasts entered that realm but never left. They were obliterated by the Three Lives Buddha using a unique method that destroyed their souls. He also used these souls, including those of Tao Lords, to nourish himself, ensuring his incarnation's survival. Additionally, he left behind one final use of the void disk within that realm. As for the myriad intent diagram, it was an exceptionally unique treasure. It functioned across both soul void and reality, allowing him to split his will into countless incarnations imbued with his full strength for limited durations. In Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain, where strong lifeforms couldn't exist due to its innate primordial virtual treasure, the Three Lives Buddha used the myriad intent diagram to create 10,000 incarnations. These incarnations scoured Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain for worlds, entered them, and sought to seize their origin cores. Not all succeeded, but many did, and virtual beasts within those worlds were powerless against him. As a result, many worlds in Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain now belong to the Three Lives Buddha. Though he didn't specify how many, Lin Moyu refrained from asking further. The number was undoubtedly significant given the Three Lives Buddha's strength during his primal level, surpassing even the Hell Master at his peak. Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain's weak worlds made them easy to claim, a characteristic that was both an advantage and a limitation. Weak worlds offered limited utility, but someone like the Three Lives Buddha wouldn't engage in meaningless actions. His meticulous preparations, including waiting for Lin Moyu, indicated he hadn't abandoned resistance against Origin Continent's world will. In other words, the grudge from back then remained unresolved in his heart. Lin Moyu asked, "It seems you've been busy over these years." The Three Lives Buddha replied, "Indeed, I've done much. This domain's weak worlds allowed me to claim them easily, and I've since nurtured them. I transformed virtual beasts from illusory beings into real ones, turning them into lifeforms within these worlds to accelerate their growth toward forming world wills. Now several worlds have reached their formative stages. While they're still weaker than Origin Continent's world wills, they can provide some assistance when needed." Lin Moyu thought to himself. As expected, the Three Lives Buddha wouldn't remain idle. As one of history's greatest geniuses and creator of the Three Lives secret method, it was impossible for him to lose heart like the Hell Master and abandon revenge entirely. This approach made sense. With several worlds reaching formative stages, they already possessed considerable combat strength. Even if they couldn't challenge Origin Continent's world will directly, they could at least contend with its subordinates effectively. Lin Moyu asked, "How do you plan to act when the time comes? The void disk is spent and this place is far from Origin Continent. Moving formative stage worlds isn't easy." The Three Lives Buddha replied, "That's why further preparations are needed." Lin Moyu chuckled lightly. "You want me to find that gate, enter it, and retrieve new void disks?" The Three Lives Buddha chanted softly. "You are perceptive. Beyond that gate lie many void disks. You may find several. If given the chance, they are incredibly useful. Moreover, that gate holds countless treasures. If you obtain suitable ones, they could aid greatly against him." Lin Moyu remarked cautiously, "But beyond that gate lies great danger." The Three Lives Buddha acknowledged this solemnly. Indeed, it is up to you now, I cannot assist further. Beware of the entity beyond that gate, it is both dangerous and cunning. At this moment a radiant wheel rose behind him, shrouded in ethereal mist under dazzling Buddhist light, a stunning sight. This is my gift to you, he said finally. This item was clearly why Lin Moyu had been summoned here. It had been prepared specifically for him all along. Accepting it, the light faded, revealing its true form. A jade ring inscribed with dense divine runes that moved ceaselessly across its surface. A cause and effect treasure. Lin Moyu exclaimed. It was a Tao Lord level artifact. The Three Lives Buddha explained. This is called the cause-seeking ring. I prepared it for you specifically. However, it requires Tao Lord cultivation to use properly. I hope you wield it wisely. Lin Moyu didn't examine it immediately, instead bowing slightly toward him. Thank you, Senior. The Three Lives Buddha replied calmly. No need for thanks, I have my reasons for doing this, as I'm sure you've guessed. If possible, we should work together toward success. Lin Moyu declared resolutely. Failure is not an option. I value my life too much, which is why I'll ensure this succeeds. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3776. 3776. Chapter 3776. Someone behind the Three Lives Buddha. The Three Lives Buddha was serious about confronting Origin Continent's world will. Through his conversation with the Buddha, Lin Moyu realized that their paths were fundamentally different. The Hell Master, the Three Lives Buddha, and the Human Sovereign each pursued their own unique approaches, and Lin Moyu was no exception. Ultimately, who would reach the pinnacle was uncertain. Even the Fate Great Tao couldn't know. Only by reaching the end could one truly understand. However, Lin Moyu felt his vision surpassed theirs. Regardless of their chosen paths, they all remained bound within the confines of Origin Ancestral Land. All their Taos were rooted within Origin Ancestral Land's framework. In contrast, Lin Moyu's 1,000 worlds had been designed from the start to rival Origin Ancestral Land and eventually surpass it. The 1,000 worlds would possess its own great Tao and Ancestral Land, entirely independent and self-contained. Within this vast system, some worlds would be strong while others weak, with competition among them, but collectively, they would form a unified whole under Lin Moyu's rule as their world master. Unlike other world masters, Lin Moyu's role would be distinct, an embodiment of his 1,000 worlds will. After conversing for a long time, the Three Lives Buddha suggested Lin Moyu leave so he could continue nurturing worlds. The incarnations created through the myriad intent diagram remained under his control even after seizing worlds. These incarnations lacked autonomy, relying entirely on commands from their original body. Thus, the Three Lives Buddha was constantly busy, and during his chat with Lin Moyu, the development of countless worlds had come to a halt. While pausing one or two worlds might not matter, stopping thousands would have significant consequences. These budding world wills would become powerful allies in the future. Leaving the Buddha's world, Lin Moyu examined the small jade ring known as the cause-seeking ring. He infused it with soul power to establish ownership. Although only Tao Lords could use the cause-seeking ring, ownership didn't require such cultivation, and Lin Moyu completed this process before leaving Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain. Information about the ring flowed into his mind. The cause-seeking ring traced effects back to their causes, allowing users to uncover origins and connections. Lin Moyu's expression turned peculiar. How did he know I wanted a cause and effect treasure? Not only did he have one, but it's perfectly suited for me. Little Python asked curiously, Master, is something wrong? Lin Moyu shook his head. Something feels very off. He claimed to have glimpsed the Fate Great Tao and foreseen the future, but fate is constantly changing. The future holds countless possibilities. A seemingly insignificant event could alter everything. Moreover, he claimed to have seen events from millions of years ahead. Do you think that's even possible? Having interacted with the Fate Great Tao himself, Lin Moyu understood how unpredictable the future truly was. Even predicting events just a few years ahead was unreliable, let alone millions of years. The Three Lives Buddha might be powerful, but he couldn't surpass formative stage world wills, let alone figures like the Human Sovereign. Lin Moyu doubted that even the Human Sovereign could see so far ahead in fate, much less someone like the Buddha. Little Python tilted its head in confusion, not fully grasping Lin Moyu's reasoning. Smiling faintly, Lin Moyu conjured a line of fire to guide their path. Let me think this through. Reflecting on their conversation, the Buddha's demeanor and his attitude toward Lin Moyu, it became clear there was something unusual about him. The cause-seeking ring, a cause and effect treasure tailored for Lin Moyu, couldn't have been foreseen by the Buddha millions of years ago. Even if he had calculated extensively, it wouldn't have been this precise. Most notably, the Buddha's overly accommodating attitude toward Lin Moyu raised suspicions. He sought revenge and Lin Moyu aimed to resist. They were aligned in purpose, but instead of negotiating, the Buddha simply agreed to everything Lin Moyu proposed without offering his own opinions, of behavior that seemed illogical. Furthermore, the Buddha hadn't established ownership over the cause-seeking ring, instead keeping it stored away as if waiting for Lin Moyu specifically to claim it. When handing over the ring, the Buddha's expression seemed almost impatient, as if eager for Lin Moyu to take it and leave. Considering all these factors, Lin Moyu reached a likely conclusion: someone was behind the Three Lives Buddha. As for who, it could only be that figure, the green-robed old man. Other than him, Lin Moyu couldn't think of anyone else capable of such influence. What is this guy planning? He started laying foundations in small worlds and has schemed all the way up to now. He played a role in Origin Catastrophe and even arranged for me to acquire Ice Jade Lotus platform. This Ice Jade Lotus platform likely isn't simple either, but I lack sufficient strength to fully utilize its power yet. What else has he planned, and what is his ultimate goal? Ultimately, all signs pointed back to the green-robed old man, a shadowy figure whose motives remained elusive despite his pervasive presence. Meanwhile, in reality, the Three Lives Buddha's world unfolded. Countless followers knelt chanting Buddhist scriptures as an enormous Buddha phantom presided over them from above. This vast world teemed with worshippers resembling humans but bearing non-human traits, all transformed virtual beasts who had entered reality through origin cores. These followers were merely one group among thousands across countless worlds controlled by the Three Lives Buddha. At this world's core, a faint green light emerged. Amida Buddha. With a solemn chant, the Three Lives Buddha bowed reverently. Three Lives pays respects to Master. The green-robed old man regarded him indifferently. Well done. The Buddha replied humbly. I merely followed your instructions, Master. The green-robed old man continued. You possess insight, that's why I helped you back then. Grateful, the Buddha responded earnestly. Without your guidance I couldn't have escaped Origin Continent. Whatever you need, I'll serve until death. The green-robed old man instructed calmly. Proceed as planned, but don't force things unnecessarily. If successful, I'll ensure your place among eternal beings. Overwhelmed with gratitude, the Buddha replied fervently. Thank you, Master, I understand. As the green-robed old man vanished, the Three Lives Buddha rose slowly. His expression remained solemn, but his eyes burned with ambition. Eternity. Uttering this single word, it carried immense weight. It was his ultimate goal, for which he would stop at nothing. Back in Soul Void, Lin Moyu pressed forward while pondering these revelations. Though he had gained clarity, it felt futile dwelling further on such complexities. They only added layers to an already tangled web. Following directions from his earlier teleportation, he began returning toward World Tree Great Spirit Domain. However, with only vague bearings, not precise coordinates, he relied on exploration while summoning elemental liches using newly acquired sentient materials. Before long, Little Python exclaimed suddenly, Master! There's something ahead. Asterisk 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 asterisk. There was a fuck up, so we get 5 chapters today. Asterisk 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 asterisk. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3777, 3777. Chapter 3777, The Crossing Calamity Boat. In the darkness, Little Python spotted a bright light. After Little Python's observation, Lin Moyu also noticed it amidst the dazzling Great Tao energy. What Little Python saw was a cluster of radiant light, but Lin Moyu saw something entirely different: a massive boat. This boat was peculiar, as only its upper half was visible, while the lower half remained obscured. It moved swiftly through the vacuum zone, speeding away like a meteor. Half in soul void, half in the real world. What kind of thing is this? Lin Moyu commanded decisively, follow it. Little Python obeyed without hesitation and chased after the boat. Despite its best efforts, Little Python could barely keep up with the boat's incredible speed. It was impossible to get closer. Upon closer inspection, Lin Moyu confirmed his initial judgment. It truly is half in soul void and half in the real world. The boat traversed both realms simultaneously, its upper half sailing through soul void while its lower half navigated the real world. The real world contained world mist, which Lin Moyu didn't fully understand, but he had some familiarity with soul void's conditions. As the boat sailed through soul void, it followed an erratic path, occasionally making abrupt 90-degree turns as if avoiding something unseen ahead. Lin Moyu realized that whatever it was dodging wasn't in soul void, it was in the real world. What could exist in the real world that would force such evasive maneuvers? Was it cultivators or perhaps an entire world? After following for some time, the boat began approaching Radiant Light Great Spirit Domain. Suddenly, Lin Moyu noticed several cultivators ahead of the boat. Through undead eye, he saw blazing soul flames. There were 8 Tao Lords positioned strategically, forming a formation to block the boat's path. The formation looked familiar. It resembled what Shi Haifeng and others had used against Outsider Alliance forces before. Though not particularly powerful, the formation was effective enough to amplify portions of their combat strength. The boat appeared unaware of these Tao Lords and continued flying straight toward them. This confirmed Lin Moyu's suspicion. The boat avoided threats from the real world but ignored those from Soul Void entirely. Crossing Calamity boat has arrived. Deploy the net full power. One Tao Lord shouted as their collective power erupted, illuminating countless points of light across the void as hundreds of treasures materialized. These treasures wove together into a massive net anchoring firmly within Soul Void. Their method mirrored how Shi Haifeng and others had dealt with great Tao beasts, but this time their strength was far greater. It seemed many Outsider Alliance formations were derived from humanity's own techniques. This boat is called Crossing Calamity boat. I wonder what its purpose is. Judging by these Tao Lords, they don't seem confident about succeeding. Lin Moyu observed their tense expressions. They were clearly nervous and uncertain about their chances. The 8 Tao Lords gritted their teeth as their aura surged, channeling every ounce of power into their treasures. The Crossing Calamity boat collided head-on with the net. Without a sound, the net shattered instantly and hundreds of treasures exploded simultaneously, sending all 8 Tao Lords flying with anguished cries. Their souls were severely damaged and they were left gravely injured. Suddenly, the Crossing Calamity boat emitted a faint glow accompanied by an indescribable melody. Lin Moyu's expression changed drastically and he shouted, "Retreat!" But instead of retreating, Little Python accelerated toward the boat at full speed. Its movements exceeded its limits and its eyes appeared vacant. It wasn't flying voluntarily, it was being drawn toward the Crossing Calamity boat. Lin Moyu struck Little Python on its head, knocking it unconscious, but even then it continued moving toward the boat. Acting quickly, Lin Moyu stored Little Python in his spatial space before turning to flee himself. However, a formless force enveloped him like an invisible hand, dragging him relentlessly toward the Crossing Calamity boat at increasing speed. Unfolding his rarely used time curse wings, Lin Moyu flapped them with all his might, but to no avail. Summoning Sword Tao Spirit, he commanded, "Take me away." Without hesitation, the spirit transformed into a long sword which Lin Moyu grasped tightly as it propelled him outward at high velocity. Yet, the invisible force pulled back fiercely, straining Lin Moyu's soul to its breaking point as he struggled against it. Meanwhile, the 8 Outsider Alliance Tao Lords who had tried blocking the Crossing Calamity boat now floated lifelessly with vacant eyes as they were absorbed into its depths. "This is collateral damage," Lin Moyu muttered bitterly with a wry smile. These Tao Lords' attempt to stop the boat had provoked its counterattack, and now Lin Moyu, a mere bystander, was caught in its aftermath. As his soul stretched dangerously close to snapping, a sudden surge of power gripped Sword Tao Spirit, dragging it back forcibly. At this point all hope seemed lost. Even Sword Tao Spirit couldn't escape, which meant Lin Moyu certainly couldn't either. Resigned to his fate, he watched helplessly as he was drawn into the Crossing Calamity boat. Yet in that moment a strange calm washed over him. His soul hadn't issued any warnings which suggested there might be no danger within the boat. But how could that be possible? Such an entity surely carried risks. Unless his soul's danger perception had failed temporarily. With no other options, Lin Moyu resolved to face whatever awaited him inside. As he approached, the Crossing Calamity boat grew larger and an overwhelming aura enveloped him. He sensed faint traces of reality, including wisps of world mist, not chaotic mist from soul void but genuine mist from the real world. The distinction between these mists was clear, and Lin Moyu understood why the lower half of the crossing calamity boat resided within reality itself. Maintaining composure amidst uncertainty, Lin Moyu prepared himself mentally. Panic would serve no purpose, it would only lead to worse outcomes. Even if dangers lurked aboard, the Great Dao always left room for survival, and staying calm offered his best chance at finding that path. As he neared 10,000 kilometers from the boat, it transformed visually. Its intricate design became more apparent, with ancient grandeur and colossal size, including a palace towering 10,000 meters high atop its deck. The hull bore countless exquisite carvings depicting mythical beasts so lifelike they seemed ready to spring forth roaring. Beneath these carvings lay hidden divine runes which captivated Lin Moyu instantly. These runes differed greatly from those he knew, but he recognized their nature. They were runes embodying profound truths far beyond his current understanding. Compared to them, his own knowledge felt superficial. Finally landing aboard, the pulling force vanished entirely as Lin Moyu stood firmly on deck. Scanning his surroundings, he noticed several Outsider Alliance Dao Lords who had been dragged aboard alongside him. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3778, 3778. Chapter 3778, what exactly is this thing? The crossing calamity boat silently disappeared into the distance. In the void, two figures gradually emerged, one clad in green robes and the other in white robes. Both watched the boat's departure intently. The green-robed elder remarked, "He went inside." The white-robed elder replied, "Perhaps this time there will be some results." The green-robed elder shook his head lightly. "Hard to say, it depends on what that being decides." The white-robed elder sighed. "Sometimes I wonder, doesn't he fear anything?" The green-robed elder chuckled. "Why do you think he's inside?" The white-robed elder sighed again. "That stubborn temperament." After exchanging a few words, both figures vanished without leaving any trace. Not even the Fate Great Dao or Time River could detect their presence. Meanwhile, the 8 Dao Lords from the Outsider Alliance stood motionless aboard the crossing calamity boat. Their empty gazes reflected their loss of consciousness. Suddenly, a light rose from beneath their feet, beginning to heal their soul injuries. Ancient divine runes danced around them as their souls gradually solidified, transforming from ethereal forms into independent entities. But this transformation was terrifying. Their souls became entirely separate from their physical bodies, severing any connection between the two. In essence, they were dead completely and irreversibly. Their intelligence was wiped clean, their eyes grew increasingly vacant, and once healed they became soulless puppets with Dao Lord level power. As for their physical bodies, now devoid of souls, they remained in the real world, awaiting new consciousness to form. While Dao Lord level bodies wouldn't decay, any new consciousness would no longer be their original selves and might not even develop complete souls, resulting in highly unusual entities. Witnessing this grim spectacle as soon as he boarded the boat, Lin Moyu felt bitter and uneasy. He refrained from acting rashly or deploying skeletal generals, fearful that his actions might trigger hidden formations aboard the boat and lead to his demise without understanding why. For now, he remained unharmed. The danger had yet to manifest fully. Watching as the 8 Dao Lords were stripped of their minds and turned into soulless puppets, Lin Moyu saw them simultaneously turn and walk toward the front of the boat. Surveying his surroundings carefully, he found himself at the stern of the crossing calamity boat. 1,000 meters away stood a colossal palace towering 10,000 meters high. The 8 Dao Lords entered the palace and disappeared from view. Lin Moyu stayed still. The earlier scene served as a stark warning against reckless movement. In such a place, caution was paramount. From his vantage point, he could observe external conditions beyond the boat. At this moment, the crossing calamity boat entered a great spirit domain surrounded by chaotic mist. Standing aboard, it was impossible to perceive its speed, but Lin Moyu had already witnessed its astonishing velocity earlier. Suddenly, a figure appeared in his line of sight. Ahead of the crossing calamity boat loomed a giant, a manifestation of a world will from one of the domain's worlds. This world will was immensely powerful, nearing the final stages of its formative phase and approaching full formation. Upon this giant stood another formidable figure, a realm master. Though diminutive compared to the colossal world will, the realm master's aura surpassed even that of his world will. A realm master. Lin Moyu deduced immediately, a powerful realm master commanding his world will to block the crossing calamity boat. This Realm Master was far stronger than the Hell Master but weaker than Wood Slaughter Realm Master by comparison. Can he stop the crossing calamity boat? Lin Moyu wondered briefly before answering himself. No, he couldn't. While he could gauge the Realm Master's strength, the boat's mysterious nature remained beyond comprehension. He suspected that not only would this Realm Master fail but he might also suffer collateral damage alongside Lin Moyu. As the boat approached, the world will transformed into a massive beast and charged directly at it. Boom! Upon collision, the crossing calamity boat remained unscathed while the beast shattered instantly. However, as an incorporeal entity, the world will quickly reformed itself. The Realm Master waved his hand, summoning an enormous formation supported by nearly 100 Dao Lords with himself as its core. The beast merged into this formation, which roared to life, emitting an overwhelming aura that shook billions of miles of soul void. An entire world's power. Lin Moyu murmured in awe. The formation's strength exceeded even that of his 5 elements giant. With 100 Dao Lords, a formative stage world will, and a Realm Master at its center, all backed by an entire world, it was undeniably formidable. The Realm Master drew a massive blade, a treasure comparable to those wielded by small spirit domain kings though inferior to emperors, innate primordial treasures. Its blade radiated immense power as it slashed toward the crossing calamity boat. This strike harnessed an entire world's energy, tearing countless rifts across soul void, pushing its limits to breaking point. But upon striking the crossing calamity boat, emitted gentle light that effortlessly dissolved the seemingly unstoppable blade energy. Unmoving, the boat seemed impervious, as if tofu had collided with stone. No matter how strong the tofu couldn't break through. Lin Moyu wasn't surprised, it felt inevitable given what he'd seen so far. The boat's strength defied understanding entirely. Even Sword Dao Spirit had been forcibly pulled back earlier, a testament to its terrifying power. Since boarding, Lin Moyu hadn't dared move an inch. Frustrated, the Realm Master roared angrily while continuing to operate his formation, but before he could act further, the crossing calamity boat unleashed blinding light. This light expanded rapidly, encompassing billions of miles of soul void. Wherever it passed, all motion ceased, including that of formations, Dao Lords, world wills, and even entire worlds themselves. Time within this region came to a complete halt. Having mastered time, Great Dao himself, Lin Moyu understood how terrifying such an ability was. While he could pause time within small areas, it required avoiding overly powerful opponents, and scaling up demanded exponentially greater effort. Yet here the crossing calamity boat froze an immense region, including a Realm Master, a formative stage world will, and countless Dao Lords and souls. Such power left Lin Moyu deeply unsettled. But what happened next truly revealed how incomprehensibly terrifying this entity was. What exactly is this thing? Lin Moyu muttered in disbelief. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3779, 3779. Chapter 3779, The Murals, Fighting Spirit, and the Scepter. A terrifying transformation unfolded before Lin Moyu's eyes. Accompanied by gentle light, countless fearsome creatures emerged in the void. Dragons, tigers, lions, cranes. These beings were merely projections, yet their actions were catastrophic, capable of destroying worlds. The dragon alone shattered half the formation with a single bite, devouring a corner of the world along with it. Time froze, space solidified, and the entire world was locked in place. The projected tiger followed suit, biting off another corner of the world and further wrecking the formation. An octopus extended its 8 massive tentacles to wrap around the remaining formation, crushing it completely. Even a seemingly harmless rabbit leapt forward, rapidly expanding in size, and devoured the Realm Master within moments. These projections were identical to the carvings Lin Moyu had seen on the hull of the crossing calamity boat earlier. What had once seemed lifelike carvings now proved to be truly alive. An entire intact world crumbled before Lin Moyu's eyes. The Realm Master and Dao Lords who had stood proudly moments ago were now dead, their world will dissipated along with the destruction of their world. As the crossing calamity boat passed by, this world was left utterly broken, heading toward inevitable death. Lin Moyu suddenly recalled a dead world he had once refined. He hadn't understood why that world had perished before, but now he knew, it had been destroyed by the crossing calamity boat. A vast and complete world was reduced to ruin in less than 10 minutes, a shocking revelation that only those present could truly grasp. As the boat continued onward, Lin Moyu couldn't help but mutter, what exactly is this thing? 1,000 meters away, the palace aboard the boat lit up its base, revealing an open portal. Lin Moyu realized this was a signal from the boat, a summons for him to enter. However, the 8 Tao lords who had been turned into soulless puppets earlier had also entered through this portal. If given a choice, Lin Moyu would have preferred to leave immediately, but now he had no other option and reluctantly moved forward. He had noticed something peculiar. Despite the boat's evident danger, he hadn't encountered any harm since boarding. This set him apart from others. With no alternatives, Lin Moyu resolved to proceed cautiously step by step. Approaching the palace with vigilance, he covered the 1,000-meter distance at a slow pace, observing his surroundings carefully. The deck of the boat was empty and eerily silent, nothing seemed out of place. The crossing Calamity boat sailed through Soul Void without any apparent destination or purpose. When he reached within 500 meters of the palace, a gentle light illuminated its surroundings. Though soft, the light made Lin Moyu uncomfortable. It was similar to what had frozen space and destroyed worlds earlier. Facing such unknowns naturally unsettled him, not out of fear but unease toward unpredictability. Suddenly, a sound reached his ears, and turning around, he saw numerous figures where there had previously been none. These were soul bodies, all cleaning the deck meticulously. Each one was a Tao Lord. In any other setting they would command awe, but aboard this boat they were reduced to mere laborers. Their vacant eyes reflected their lack of consciousness. They were nothing but soulless puppets now. As Lin Moyu approached closer to the palace, the peculiar nature of its light became apparent. His soul felt lighter, as though becoming purer. Even though his cultivation level remained unchanged, the essence of his soul improved slightly. For Lin Moyu this enhancement meant far more than any cultivation breakthrough. It was invaluable progress in soul refinement. His treatment aboard this boat seemed markedly different from others, a fact that continued to puzzle him deeply. Arriving at the palace's entrance, a massive door hundreds of meters tall stood open wide. Beyond it, a grand staircase bathed in gentle light ascended toward an unseen destination above. Without hesitation, Lin Moyu stepped onto the staircase and began climbing steadily upward. At this point hesitation served no purpose. It was time to act decisively. Upon stepping onto the staircase, the scene around him transformed dramatically. The palace vanished from view, replaced by towering walls on either side stretching endlessly upward like the stairs themselves. These walls bore intricate murals depicting vivid scenes filled with people, objects, and landscapes, all seemingly alive. As Lin Moyu gazed at these murals, they began moving as if telling stories through their motion. Whispers filled his ears as if narrating tales. I fought across realms and unified worlds but fell here. I refuse to accept defeat. I'll reincarnate and fight again. What is a supreme ruler? I fear nothing. I'll fight them head on. My loved ones are gone. I have no attachments left. I'll fight. What are heaven and earth? What is the great Tao? As cultivators we defy them all. We seek only ourselves. Each mural conveyed overwhelming fighting spirit, as if waves crashing into Lin Moyu's mind. These were depictions of once proud warriors who defied heaven and earth, unwavering even in death. Their indomitable will inspired Lin Moyu deeply, even filling him with renewed determination. Compared to these warriors, the Tao Lords seemed insignificant, and even figures like Hellmaster paled in comparison. Feeling their fighting spirit, Lin Moyu realized his own challenges weren't insurmountable. With careful planning they could be overcome. He grew increasingly curious about this boat. Why did it bear murals depicting such powerful figures? Lin Moyu didn't believe these murals were fabricated. Their fighting spirit couldn't be faked. Each spirit was unique and undeniably genuine. It couldn't have been forged artificially. Continuing upward, the murals expanded beyond depictions of defiance against heaven and earth to include other elements. They revealed terrifying spiritual beasts roaming skies or sinking into abyssal depths. These beasts wielded immense power as if favored by heaven itself and traversed realms freely. Countless people worshipped them as gods, but eventually they encountered stronger opponents who slew them for resources like flesh or blood. Over time their numbers dwindled until they vanished entirely. These murals narrated an ancient history of how cultivators rose from weakness to strength, challenging fate and ultimately standing tall against heaven itself. Unknowingly Lin Moyu reached the end of the staircase. By now the spiritual beasts had been wiped out and a human cultivator stood atop their corpses wielding an unparalleled scepter with pride. Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed sharply upon seeing this scepter, the catastrophic scepter. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3780, 3780. Chapter 3780, The Fifth Gem. The path up the staircase felt like a journey through the rise of humanity. The humans depicted in the murals were vastly different from the ones Lin Moyu had come to know. The history portrayed in the murals was ancient, so ancient that it seemed impossible to trace its origins. But history, after all, was just history, events that had already passed and were no longer of immediate importance. What truly mattered now was the present and the final image in the mural, the catastrophic scepter. This time, it was the genuine catastrophic scepter, not a replica fabricated by the Hell Master. The human figure standing atop countless spirit beast corpses, towering above all others, held the true catastrophic scepter in his hand. On this scepter, 5 gems were intact. Buzz. With a resonant hum, the walls on both sides of the staircase vanished, revealing a palace ahead. Lin Moyu realized he had unknowingly reached the end of the staircase. Before him lay a vast plaza. In the distance, faint light mixed with mist hinted at structures hidden within. This was clearly part of a palace. Seeing buildings here wasn't surprising to Lin Moyu. His gaze fell upon a colossal statue standing at the center of the plaza. The plaza was immense and empty save for this 1,000-meter-tall statue that towered over everything. The statue wore distinctly human attire and stood with its back to Lin Moyu, exuding an aura of solitary pride. Lin Moyu felt a sense of loneliness emanating from it, as if this figure stood alone against all under heaven. What truly caught his attention was the material of the statue. It was crafted entirely from innate primordial material. Even a fist-sized piece of such material was incredibly valuable. How much must have been used for this 1,000-meter-tall statue? Calling it extravagant would be an understatement. Instinctively, Lin Moyu glanced down at his left hand. The undying flame still burned brightly, but the sentient material he held showed no signs of melting. Sentient materials were far more resistant to refinement than ordinary ones. Comparing this small piece in his hand to the massive statue before him, the difference was staggering. If I brought this statue's material to discernment beast, it might even choke on it, Lin Moyu mused humorously as he moved closer to examine the statue's face. He wondered who could have erected such a monument in a place as terrifying as the crossing calamity boat. Whoever it was might surpass even figures like the human sovereign or world tree emperor. As he approached within several hundred meters, a formless barrier blocked his path. "You are not qualified to see him." A deep and resonant voice echoed from all directions, its source indiscernible. "The master has finally appeared," Lin Moyu muttered without surprise. He had expected someone to control the crossing calamity boat, and this voice likely belonged to its master. Lin Moyu asked politely, "May I ask why Senior brought me here? What instructions do you have for me?" "I have no instructions, I just wanted to see you," replied the voice. "Just see me?" Lin Moyu froze momentarily, baffled by such an answer. Was he hearing things, bringing him here just to observe him? Suppressing his disbelief, Lin Moyu maintained composure. "And what does Senior think now that you've seen me?" "Not bad," came the indifferent reply. Lin Moyu sighed inwardly at this casual evaluation. "If Senior has seen enough, may I leave now?" "Take out your scepter, I want to see it," commanded the voice. Resigned, Lin Moyu retrieved his catastrophic scepter without hesitation. He had already seen an image of it in the murals, and now that this mysterious figure had directly mentioned it, there was no point in hiding it further. As soon as he revealed the scepter, the statue began glowing faintly, and atop its head a gem appeared. "The catastrophic scepter's gem," Lin Moyu exclaimed in surprise. He hadn't expected to find another gem here. Since acquiring 3 gems earlier, he had found no trace of a 4th one until now. And yet here lay another gem, the 5th one. Previously, he had obtained gems representing soul, elemental, and balance attributes, but what attribute did this new gem hold? Suspended atop the statue, the gem showed no intention of moving toward him, and Lin Moyu couldn't approach due to the invisible barrier blocking his way. Still, the fact that this figure had revealed its existence suggested an intent to give it to him eventually, otherwise, there would have been no need for such theatrics. Lin Moyu asked cautiously, "What must I do for Senior to grant me this gem?" "This is the 5th gem of the catastrophic scepter," explained the voice. "Once you find the 4th gem, I will give you this one." "Is there a specific order for acquiring these gems?" Lin Moyu wondered silently but didn't voice his doubts aloud, instead asking, "Does Senior know where I might find the 4th gem?" "You'll have to find it yourself," replied the voice curtly, offering no further guidance or clues. Whether out of ignorance or unwillingness, it left Lin Moyu with no choice but to search on his own. By now it was clear that whoever controlled this boat bore him no ill will, as they claimed they merely wanted to observe him. Lin Moyu asked. If I locate the fourth gem, how should I return here? Figure it out yourself, came another cold response, a clear dismissal of any further questions or assistance. Though frustrated, Lin Moyu took solace in knowing where one more gem lay, even if retrieving it would take time and effort. As he waited for permission to leave, Lin Moyu studied the statue closely. It radiated an indescribable aura suggesting its creator was extraordinary. Perhaps even responsible for crafting both this statue and the crossing calamity boat itself. Moments later, the distant mist brightened slightly as some dispersed, revealing an exquisite palace ahead. Narrowing his eyes slightly, Lin Moyu recognized it immediately. I've seen that palace before. It was identical to one he encountered while merging 10 small spirit domains, a palace whose corner had exploded violently back then. Surveying carefully, he spotted damage on one corner matching what he remembered exactly. So it really is that palace, Lin Moyu confirmed inwardly. Could innate virtual treasures and this boat be connected? And might Emperor's primordial materials also relate somehow? As these thoughts swirled within him, the soft light around him intensified briefly before fading entirely. When his vision cleared, the crossing calamity boat had vanished into Soul Void's depths once more. Lin Moyu found himself back outside in an unfamiliar great spirit domain. Reflecting on everything he'd witnessed aboard that ancient history etched into murals filled him with awe, but also strengthened his Tao heart with newfound resolve. Releasing Little Python from storage, he slapped it awake while scanning their surroundings cautiously. For now, all he knew was that they were somewhere new and figuring out where would be his next challenge. Usually, I just say thanks for the donation and move on. I don't want anyone who donated before to feel like I'm treating people differently. But in this case, Pac really deserves some extra praise. Thanks a lot, man.